Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to HeroesCCL presented by Wisdom. We just got through our first best of 5 of the day, and we're preparing for our second one, as you can see at the bottom of our screen, Chili Mountain versus 30K. Before we get into rosters and everything in between, let's go ahead and check in with both of my wonderful friends, Grubby and Justin, as to what you guys got up to during the break. Let's start with
I had some fladenbrood, which is bread of some kind, with strawberries, which is actually a very traditional meal. Take bread, slice it open, put strawberries, and then full sugar on top. Very common breakfast/lunch as a kid. I didn't put sugar on top. But
is this like a sweet bread sort of thing?
Nope, just a kind of bread. It's actually kind of salty, and then you put strawberries on top, and yeah, you can fill it with sugar, which is how I used to eat it as a kid. But now I just do the strawberries and the bread. You ever had strawberries on bread?
No, I mean, I've had like strawberry jam, but not like just sliced strawberries. I'm gonna try that. Yeah, next time I go to the grocery store, like on Monday, I'm gonna go get myself some strawberries and some salty bread, I guess.
Wow. Maybe it's like normal bread.
Maybe it's like that. Maybe it's like the sweet and savory sort of deal. But Justin, what did you get up to on your break as well, my friend?
Got some springy cuddles. Went and pet Springy. She was looking super cute on the bed, and I think I woke her up because she's not on the bed anymore. So that was all the cuddles for her.
Unfortunately, Springy just ran away too quickly. Hopefully Springy will jump up on screen and we can have them join us. But you know what I need to do at this time? I need to remind all of you that it's up to you to get the best picks for the winning team live as you're watching on cclmarkets.com. It's free. If you pick wrong, you can sell your shares and buy the other team before the match is over. CCL markets trade from 0 to 100, with shares of the winning team valuing at 100 and shares of the losing team expiring at 0. There's tons of prizes this season, so join and play during every HeroesCCL broadcast. Thank you once again, Ball Street, for joining us for HeroesCCL Season 4. But now, Grubby, let's get into some rosters. And we were talking about this in the break. Some of you may have noticed there's a new name over on this Chili Mountain roster.
Yep, Skulk has joined the team. Dino, as you see, is not on the roster anymore. We're not quite sure why yet. It is a big loss for Chili Mountain. Dino has been a big part to play in why Chili Mountain is top 2 in our league standings here. Let's hope that Skulk is up to the task and that the loss of Dino can be filled with the skill that the rest of the roster has shown throughout the season.
And there were some other roster changes. They don't affect any of today's matches, so we'll be talking about those tomorrow with Storm Esports and Simplicity. But when we look over at the roster of 30K here, Justin, can you break down what this, well, my favorite term, this NA powerhouse is?
Yep, we've got the NA Dream Team with Caterpillar playing the tank, Pure the flex for the team, Legacy the support, Liam the offlaner, Madara the ranged, and B-Kid the 6th member. We've got some players in Kieran Legacy who have won 2 seasons of CCL. We have Madara, who was a shining star on Oxygen's old roster, Liam, the winner of awards, and Cattle, the veteran player who's been around alongside Kier for quite a while in the scene.
Really, really strong rosters, and it is my favorite storyline that is never overused. It is going to be EU versus NA, everyone's favorite back and forth rivalry. That really doesn't mean anything because we all know that Korea is the better region. But either way, we are going to get ready for our first map here, and let's go ahead and break down for you where we're going to be going to for map number 1 in our second best of 5 of the day. It is going to be 30K choosing to take us to Alterac Pass, and I say yes, choosing, because 30K won the coin flip, opting for map pick priority, banning out Battlefield of Eternity, and the members of Chili Mountain will be banning out Dragonshire. Chili Mountain has not played Dragonshire once this entire season. 30K, they've played on Battlefield of Eternity, but the big thing is that 30K, we've never seen them on Garden of Terror, so maybe we do see that here today. Justin.
Yeah, we do see some Alterac here, which is a favorite map of 30K. They're a team that's played extremely well on this, no matter what the roster is. They've been kind of known for this map, and 30K with their 5-0 scoreline, we'll see if that's enough for them to take out Chili Mountain with their 4-1. I'm just super excited for every match we see, or every map we see in this series. This is going to be probably the most hyped regular season match that we'll have all season. It couldn't be more stacked with these two rosters going against each other.
And I feel like we've been saying this a lot, Grubby. This could be the precursor to our grand finals at the LAN because, well, these two teams, they're really, really, really strong, and we're going to see who's going to take the victory here. Will this be the first series, not map, but series, like overall best of 5? Will 30K lose their first series of the entire season, or will Chili Mountain be able to just continue to build up the score? I'm super excited about this one, Grubby. What are your thoughts here as we're getting into Alterac Pass Draft?
So we can also see that Quaza is missing this time. He is part of the main roster, but was unavailable today, so Skog will be used as the sub. Without Dino and Quaza, there will be a different dynamic. It really will change the playstyle. So although 30K has the better league score so far, maybe that little secret sauce from Chili Mountain can be a bit of a surprise, as 30K wouldn't have been able to perhaps predict some of the picks coming out. I remember back when Skog played a lot, he reprised a lot of different roles in the previous teams that he was on in CCL. Sometimes he was tank, sometimes he was offlane. So we'll see kind of how he's going to be used today. I guess Masquerade will be the tank, but we'll see. Thrall drawing a really high ban prio from Chili Mountain, even though Cure generally doesn't pick it until finals pick or so. So that's interesting to come out this early.
We are speeding through this draft, Justin. I'm sure you got some thoughts as well.
Yeah, I was going to mention the Thrall pick from Cure in the last 2 times that 30K has played this map has been extremely crucial to the way that they set up. They've had the Chromie played by Madara in the top side, just stalling the objective forever, and then they rely on Cure on the Thrall to be that extra CC and that tank killing. But with Thrall being banned away super early on, 30K feeling pretty comfortable to be able to take the Diablo and the Blaze, 2 very high HP pool heroes that are now not going to be able to, or not have to deal with that percent damage if Chili Mountain were to have looked to pick that Thrall away. And now they're in a situation where, does 30K want Hammer? Do they pick Hammer? Do they play Hammer? If they ban it here, it'll feel kind of like a waste if you're the side of 30K. I'm expecting Chili Mountain to be forced to ban the Sergeant Hammer here in the second rotation.
I do like the tank priority ban as well. I was wondering if that would be kind of a little bit of a choke for the side of from the side of 30K. And also, we've talked about in the past, Grubby, Nubrak really, really strong for this map, able to solo cap the objective.
But interesting to see a Nubrak ban coming out despite the Blaze Diablo frontline. Previously, Justin, you were saying that Nubrak into Diablo Blaze frontline back on BOE was kind of hard for Granite Gaming. 30K still considers it a big threat. Perhaps a precursor of what's to come as well, maybe with the Sergeant Hammer and how Nubrak can close that gap quite easily.
Ooh, that's a good point.
I think a lot of it is just the map, just the pressure on the map, having that hero that can stall forever, or can capture the objective by themselves. They might not be looking to stall forever with the Chromie by Madara now that they're not going to have that Thrall option to provide the tank killing. That was something that they had picked before. They do still pick it, and they also have Whitemane picked up by Legacy. A very different pick. We have not seen this yet. I'm curious if there is a specific reason that we'll see in the last pick from 30K that they're doing this. I wouldn't expect to see something like a Samuro, but something that split pushes might be the play here for Cure. As one thing that Whitemane does, I'd say the only thing that she does that's like truly unique and special is the level 20, where she can put her mark on someone and then heal them globally. We'll see if that's something that they look to pick. Maya of Murden picked up super scary comp from Chili Mountain though.
I'm really terrified of the Chili Mountain composition. Whitemane is a hard sell for me. Like we've seen Whitemane in the past in CCL, and she hasn't really looked the best. She gets dove and punished pretty hard. I've played with some amazing Whitemanes in my own games and stuff like that, but I mean that's my games are nowhere near the skill level of HeroesCCL. We will get this last pick. It is going to be the Cure special. Oh, that's a hard thing to vote against, Justin. That is like blow up from Chromie. Yeah, I like the 30K draft. The only weakness for me is that Whitemane.
The one thing is 30K's composition really struggles to kill frontliners, and you have Hogger and Murden, 2 fairly tanky members. Murden in particular is just about as tanky as a Diablo once he's got his avatar running. So it's going to be a little bit difficult for 30K to get through the front line. Also for Zeratul, he's most likely going the Cure build, the wormhole with the CDR from the level 1, the split pushing build, the 1v1 build, but into something like Brightwing specifically, it's very difficult to blink in and be able to blink out. If Brightwing is quick and able to get the polymorph off when Cure blinks in, he's going to be having a very rough time, as there's also the Ultralisk Maiev with the tether that can pull him back after that. There's also the potential to get disked by Maiev with her ultimate. The containment disc now having the silence afterwards when you come out makes blinking forward as Zeratul very, very scary. You also have the CC from Muradin and Hogger as well, so there's a ton of CC for Cure on the Zeratul. I don't think it's going to be the easiest game for him, and also not a lot of targets for him either. Falstad's pretty much the only squishy range that he has as a target. I think 30k's composition is a lot worse overall than Chili Mountains, but 30k is the team that's 5-0 on this map, 5-0 in the league so far. They are the team that's slightly ahead in the standings. It is Cure Zeratul. I'll see if the white main does the level 20 thing alongside Cure split pushing on Zeratul. But aside from that, I don't really see what their composition is meant to do that is really special, whereas Chili Mountain's composition just looks really well-rounded and like it kind of does everything really well.
Well, we are going to have a short little pause right here so we can kind of talk about this a little bit further. I do have some map stats for all of you because we didn't really talk about that at all. 30k is 4-0 on Alterac Pass, and the members of Chili Mountain 1-0. And it just looks like one of the players needs to be able to have a minute here just to level things out. But Grubby as well, want to get your thoughts on what these drafts look like as well.
Yeah. The 30k draft has like armor via bunker, armor via white main, if that's the ult she picks. Usually I would expect that one in competitive, the big armor, AoE, 40 armor and a bunch of heal. Higher win rate in Storm League is the damage ult, of course, when you can operate with a greater level of impunity, because people aren't as good at coordinatedly taking out the backline, doing damage and getting massive mana returns and heals via your circle damage ult. Divine Reckoning, I think it's called, is the preferred way usually for white main. And then even the level 20 upgrade is very popular and high win rate, where you pull everyone together, do even more damage, and it just kind of wins fights together with slowing sands, perhaps, if that's hitting a bunch of people, maybe an Apocalypse, maybe a Blaze ult. There is a lot of power there. Maybe Void Prison can be combined with that. And while that is high execution, I wouldn't normally expect that to be a problem here for 30k, since, you know, they are our top winning team so far.
Alrighty, well, let's go ahead and introduce these teams, and we can continue talking about these drafts a little bit further. Of course, Justin, thank you for the analysis as well. But Chili Mountain Make on the Falstad, Banana on the Brightwing, Skoog on the Hogger, Masquerade to play the Muradin, and Ultralisk on the Maiev. Over on the side of 30k, Cattle on the Diablo, Madara on the Chromie, Liam on the Blaze, Cure on his Zeratul and Legacy to play the white main. I feel like the special tech or the uniqueness here, Grubby, is going to be Legacy's white main. I feel like he's busting this out because there's something he's been practicing, something that 30k has been doing that they're going to showcase in this map, and that's what I'm kind of banking on, is Legacy specifically on this white main. Cure should get some good value. But as we get into the mid lane, a little bit of poke back and forth. Cure is going to be going into that Shadow Hunter at level 1 as mentioned in the draft. Ooh, wait, Falstad, frequent flyer.
He's got it, right? The only ranged assassin here besides Brightwing. Here is a Diablo, so he's got to go for Seasoned Marksman. Frequent flyer, it's called.
Yeah.
And then the sustained wins, the percentage damage. At level 13, this is very important so that Blaze and Diablo are remotely killable. W build sucks. Please never take this again if you're listening, on you Storm Leaguers, you Quick Mashers. And even if you wanted to use it to trade against Zeratul, he could just blink away once and come back, and now your W isn't working anymore. This is the most safe build into Zeratul. You often still would want Static Charge at level 4, which gives you the shields. It is more burst protection than lifesteal, even against Zera, even though he may blink away. You go AA build, but you don't get the lifesteal at 4. It's kind of sad giving it up, but it is safer into Zera if that's something you want to be more careful of.
Yeah, Dishonorable Discharge at level 1 is quite literally a dishonorable talent to take. So just it's either take Q or autos at 1. That's the PSA, chat. You know, for anyone that's like, oh, but I get my stacks done. You'll get more value out of the other talents. That's the PSA. Is like, yeah, cool, you get your stacks done. That's you get them done at like level 16, so you get resets. Woo. Level 4 for the side of Chili Mountain.
I've never seen it get completed ever.
Yeah, it's just, even the completion's not that worth it. But Umbral Binds have been pushing and pulling Cattle and friends around a little bit here. Hasn't set up a kill, but it has been kind of putting threat in these moments as Liam steps up in this top lane for a little bit here. I'm surprised that there wasn't actually a mass rotation to try and gank him. I guess Liam just a little too tanky per se, or too tanky in the top lane for him to be a threat from the side of Chili Mountain.
Yeah, they still had to kind of clear out mid Chili Mountain. No deaths on either side yet. The 10 seconds to the Hogger camp on the left side. We see Ultralisk already going there. With Naisha's Memento, Maiev has a really good wave clear and camp clear as well. Masquerade is just standing anchor in the center. Banana Age, he sees Zeratul. Cattle standing in an interesting position right above him. Just seeing if anyone is going to rotate, but nothing yet. No critical mistake.
Muradin did go into Sledgehammer at level 4. I'm curious as to the reasoning for that one. Usually we see the reverberation for these tanky Muradins. It is going to give him more siege potential into structure. Well, it gives him siege potential overall, and it also allows him to maybe clear out the jailers a little bit more around this objective phase, so maybe that's the reason we're seeing that for Masquerade. Bronzebeard Rage at level 13 will also be huge, as the phase shift will be utilized onto Ultralisk. Mid lane camps to be cleared by both sides, respectively. Jet Propulsion from Blaze to be polymorphed. Mid propulsion, I guess you could say, as the 7 is first for Chili Mountain.
Yeah. Oh, so far, really looking good for both teams. Zeratul is working on his globes. He's got 4 globes per minute, which is really solid. Zeratul gets a lot more mobility once he completes those blinks. It allows him to do auto attacks to get his blink back quicker. Wormhole has also come online, and while Zeratul is more of a late game hero, you really, at the very least, want to have all your globe quests before becoming active at all in team fights.
Yeah, that cooldown reduction from the autos is big as well. Diablo getting the channel here that does stall out the objective phase. The jailers will be the one to secure this, as Zeratul, we were just talking about it, just finishing out that level 1, has it done at 4 minutes and 11 seconds. Now, does this mean that Kier starts to step in? I also want to point out, Whitemane got the level 7 intercession, so that's going to be her version of a cleanse, the 45-second unstoppable. Or not, excuse me, that's not that 45-second cooldown on a 1 second.
Oh my god!
There we go. Yeah, 45. Yeah, we would be seeing a lot more Whitemane.
That's a really good cooldown for a cleanse. It's like Lily levels of good.
Masquerade gets the gets the phase shift from Brightwing, polymorph onto Cure, who is dropped to around 3rd. Some good giggle beams out from Whitemane, as more null packs to be pushed in through mid, a little bit faster from Chili Mountain, as 10s are approaching. Chili Mountain ahead, but there's still waves to clear for 30k. Cure, man, the way Cure plays mechanically with the Zeratul shift queuing abilities with because he cleaves and then shifts the blink in, so he gets that just minuscule window of any sort of CC ability onto him.
Jeez, yeah, he's really fast with it.
Uh-oh. Banana
H is getting bullied. He
peeled.
goes down.
Yeah, because he's a banana. He got peeled, like, from his team.
Oh, nice. Was it a ripe banana? Was it about time for him to get peeled? Oh!
Okay, they attempt to kill the Maiev, but now Skoog is trying to back away. Grubby almost gets the snipe. 2 members of Chili Mountain must hearth back. Masquerade once again putting pressure onto the objective phase. 10 talent here to the side of Chili Mountain. Zeratul gets 1 wave in mid that will guarantee said 10. Diablo, he's got that respawn ability, only consuming 75 out of 100 souls. Might of the Nerzim for the Zeratul. And we will be having the Scarlet Aegis for the Whitemane. Bolster the spirits of nearby allies, heroes, healing them for 444 and granting them 40 armor for 4 seconds, as I think that's what Justin was talking about. I think that's what you two were talking about in the draft with Zeratul.
Yo, Zeratul is dead. It's possible? Your Zeratul can be killed?
It is possible.
The shockwave missed, but it forced the blink, and Ultralisk did a really good containment this. He was silenced. Banana Age did not cast his polymorph early, waited until the silence was gone. Staggering blow helped also, and Zeratul actually dead. This is incredible. We've also seen the first save by Whitemane a while ago on Zeratul. I honestly believe this is the second Whitemane ever in 4 seasons of CCL.
I can recall one in like season 2. I think, yeah, yeah, exactly. I think you're exactly right. I think he played against Lauber, and Lauber was just falling sword on top of the Whitemane as the answer to get in the backlines. The containment disc will connect onto Chromie. She actually times out to mitigate the value of that as Cattle gets low. The bunker comes down from Blaze. Hog wild in from Skoog, and he actually gets a really good spot. The gust is forced by Make, and 6.9 seconds remain on channel time for this Chili Mountain camp.
Oh, cool. Umbral Bind still works on the blink back, of course,
Yeah, I
but
saw
it only
that.
takes you a certain distance, not all the way rubber banded back to my F. I'm really enjoying this game so far. Both teams are very capable. They're not getting picked off sillily in lane or anything like that. And as we see how this action sequence finishes, I'd love to just kind of get a vibe check from either team. It doesn't really matter which one to see how they're getting on here. What do you think?
I agree with you, and I think we should get into some Chili Mountain.
Flag going over. Oh.
I will stay.
I can start. No, I can't start this one.
Okay, I'm just destroying the fort.
Yeah.
Is
We
he
push
coming
for- we
to
wanna
me, or-
don't let them get. We don't wanna let them get cap. here.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Okay, nice. I don't know what to do.
I'm
guys
coming
have
now,
ulti?
I'm coming now. Can we
Yeah.
recap her?
Yeah. I'm reaping it. I might bit the.
Maybe even gust for
I
it
don't
if
have
they
the
come
10
in.
seconds.
I got it.
Yeah.
We wanna move in
Wait
now.
for this
I'm
now,
clearing
or?
mid,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
we do the thing.
I have percentage damage now as well.
I have Z in 3.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
mid
looped.
player.
I'm
I'm
looped.
gonna Z on you.
body block.
I'm gusting.
Yeah.
Look, Cattle.
Yeah. I stun after.
Don't have gus.
There's
Don't
no
have gus.
timing. What the fuck?
Looking for me. Looking.
Look for me.
With no time for.
I'm eating Diablo.
Zera
same.
is black.
I need to help.
Yeah. I'm looking at Chrome here.
Diablo is killable, I think.
Okay. Might have run it too hard. Oh, Sarah's back.
Get the thing though, get the thing.
I don't think we do.
No, I
I
think
don't.
so.
I'm dead as well.
And with us jumping out of comms, we get a Zeratul chasing onto Skoog. Misses the singularity spike, so I think Skoog gets to live right there. But man, oh man, that was some cool moments from both sides.
Yeah, really well played by Chili Mountain the entire game so far. And I think we all know that Maka, a little bit too deep in. I think he actually barrel rolled on top of Chromie inside the middle of everyone. As Skull gets a spin off. That's a really good one. That slows. That spell power reduction on White Mane. Falsa jumps in to kill White Mane. The objective does go towards 30k, but they're trying to clean up. Madara goes down also. That's a double kill. That's really going to help. It should be a triple kill. Liam does not get away from this. He does not get away from this. Triple kill is going to take the teeth out of this push.
Bunker just came off a cooldown, and Liam is going to create a window which allows Cure's Zeratul to back away. So, yes, Liam may stagger out of death, but he buys a window for a few death timers to kind of really ramp back up. And overall, I do think Chili Mountain, I think they're going to mitigate most of this objective phase. I don't think
All of it?
Drektar's cavalry gets value.
Yeah, Director, train your cavalry better, lol. As the cavalry are completely taken out mid before even landing a single hit. In my days, raiders would just go straight for buildings and ignore the units. But that is not what's going on here. There's one more raider in the bottom lane. It is hitting a tower. It is being pushed in with Cure, so there will be some value. But in the meantime, Cattle, he's an island. And there's inhabitants, and they're angry.
Oh my god, Cattle gets the heal out from Legacy with
White
the Scarlet
Man?
Aegis. There's the Jet Propulsion onto Ultralisk, but Banana has the Soothing Mist. Meanwhile, in bottom lane, Hogger is taking some damage from Cure's Zeratul. We see a little blink back and forth. The 1v1. We also heard in the comms there, Chili Mountain, I think, was a little surprised as to, like, Cure's Zeratul dying because he was blinking back and forth around. Oh, Cure, you don't get out of this now with the Brightwing coming in. Falstad flying down here as well. Slowly but surely, Chili Mountain are just finding kill after kill. Tower Shot gets one. Masquerade coming in. He will get invisibility. He is going to get the blink away. Tries to make the outplay. And Cure, after what feels like a minute of him surely, or needing to die, finally dies. And boss to be worked on in top lane. The Jungle Grave Golem Defender.
If I juked like that as Cure and made it last that long, I would sure as hell have the shame of my death manifest itself by saying, yo, team, we doing anything good up there?
Yeah, right?
I created so much space. And sure enough, they are getting boss, but it is a trade. Make no mistake, that was good for Chili Mountain getting that Zeratul, even though it took that long, because it's still a boss trade.
Chromie scouts out the bush. Ultralisk a little low. They're a little late on the any sort of invade. Meanwhile, in mid lane, there's a null pack that's reduced the armor of the fort. Maka and Skoog will guarantee this fort through mid. Good bounce out from Skoog as well on that side wall. And the mid fort does go down. Bottom lane has the boss pushing in. Top lane fort should go down in favor of 30k as we have another objective spawning lower portion of the map.
Chili Mountain is coming in swinging. I really thought that the loss of Dequaza and Dino was going to hurt them quite a bit. but the members here are availing themselves extremely heroically. Now, the game isn't over yet, and Zeratul scales into the late game. So far, Cure has failed to impress and get kills. He's done his job of side laning. He's got his XP contribution, the siege damage. But Chili Mountain's been good at hounding him, especially Ultralisk has to be commended here for the accuracy and the awareness of where to cast his containment disc, even into someone as slippery as Zeratul. I'm very impressed with that.
Fire stomps out from Diablo, scout out a little bit into the black void of the Fog of War. Falstad and Blaze in the top lane. We see a little bit of posturing through mid. Both teams have a null pack here, but it seems like Chili Mountain will clear out the opposing side faster. Right Wing still in bottom, as well as Zeratul. And it's, I'd say it's tense between both these teams, though Chili Mountain definitely riding the high as they have a solid level lead. A little bit more than that, actually.
Very, very solid. And more than that, the double fort lead as well. Catapult pressure, or Reaver minions, as you correctly call them. Very healthy tank units. Diablo silenced a bit, not the big blow up that you would imagine normally, as Cure struggles to clear the mid Hellbats before they get too much damage on the tower. Now, this was a non-committal objective orientation by Chili Mountain. They're very happy to try to go for it, but they're never going to 5-on-5 for this, and this is how they're different from a Storm League team. Anytime in Storm League, if you start trying to get the prison camp objective, there's no giving it up, no matter what. Even if it's a random 5-on-5, you don't need it yet, and you're level 20 earlier. That's what I love about watching competitive HoTS Bahamut. They go back when they should, because guess what? Who gets level 20 first?
Oh, it's going to be Chili Mountain. I was watching Zeratul clear in top lane. Oh, thank you so much.
No problem.
Well, you know what actually will be funny if the members of Chili Mountain like lose 2 members and then 30K is the one to actually get the
Stupid guess, lol!
Oh no! But I'm watching Cure like a lot on the map to see if he's gonna try and find some of these late game solo target picks. But as I'm watching the mini map, Maev's kind of floating around that target that could be gankable. That being the Falstad. So I actually really like how Chili Mountain's approaching and responding to the Zeratul as Masquerade tries to solo cap the objective. Ultralisk comes in, has level 20, which also means that's Vault of the Wardens getting a secondary charge. No control, wind tunnel. We got the Blink heal upgrade as well with the Invisible Friends. And Muradin gonna go into Hardened Shield for the 75 armor for 4 seconds. And that one has a 60-second cooldown.
Wow, Hardened Shield, not going for the unstoppable force that we also never see. But it's really always rewind normally on Muradin. But he's very committed to make himself a bait target of a temporal. Watch Masquerade probably gonna seem like he's jumping in way too far ahead of his team in a 1 versus 5. Draw all the cooldowns from 30k, including temporal loop, maybe some combos from Diablo, thus creating space for his team. That's what I would expect.
Time stop onto 1 is going to reduce the armor by 15. He's got that spell armor from the Brightwing as well, the Muradin, as we have the 20 talents here still for Chili Mountain, getting this pre-siege in through bottom lane. Here come the Vandar Stormpike Alliance Cavalry, top lane a little far back, mid lane pushed into about 50%. This might be a small window. Like it depends on how 30k holds here, Grubby. If 30k can hold here, they'll have 20s and they'll be able to have an even talent here fight. Though if Chili Mountain can find a kill or two, that might be all she wrote with the death timers where they are.
And even at level 20 versus 20, Chili Mountain may still continue to play the game as they have, which is to say with an impeccable macro sense and never committing to any losing team fights and just playing better on the macro. Liam trying to get away here with jet propulsion. He's got 20 armor. I think White Mage still has her ult. He doesn't want to cast it. Legacy is holding for that level 20 unless he absolutely has no choice. Bunker had to be used, but 30k manages to save most of their ults. They're gonna just need a little bit of XP, 1 wave to get level 20s, and then we'll see if 30k can make something happen with all their ults still intact.
Well, the assumption is we see the upgrade. Oh, no.
What?
You're going to be seeing the Shadow Strike. Sorry, I was thinking that we might see the upgrade on the Might of the Nerazim, but it's just going to be that Shadow Strike at level 20 for the cooldown reduction and shield absorption for the Vorpal Blade.
We're gonna get the Scarlet Crusade. Scarlet Aegis heals 50% more, so it's gonna heal for about 975 upon casting, and the 2-second Unstoppable on every single teammate. That could help them against Mighty Gust and walk away from that. It could help them against Shockwave from Hager, cleansing the slow away. It could remove a Polymorph. The big question is, Will Whitemane be in a position to affect most of her team, and can those 2 seconds be used to get a counter kill? So far, Chili Mountain looks unexpectedly dominant.
And also, both bosses are up here. Masquerade, no, I think it's Brightwing showing in the wave. Masquerade was, I think, in the bush. But I think there's a feel from 30k that there's a boss call. I'm just gonna check vision really quickly. Banana showing in wave. Here comes Cattle coming in. This could be the final fight or not the final fight of the game, unless members of Chili Mountain can take this fight. Containment Disc onto the Zeratul. Shockwave connecting as well. He is chain CC'd, and that's a huge jet propulsion from Liam, but where's the damage to find a kill? Cattle going in, gets the lightning breath. He's looking at Banana, who does not go down, but that will be a Stormbolt into Liam to mitigate the jet propulsion. We have a trade. Zeratul, 4 Hogger, boss fully leashed. Mid lane, null packs are crashing. And right now, Diablo with 8,331 HP. Looking for an angle here. Masquerade in the bush, or right below the bush.
That was a 30% spell power Diablo lightning breath that incinerated Hagar after Cure, for the so manyth time, got completely owned by Containment Disc Shockwave follow-up. There's another Containment Disc. This cooldown is really, really short as Ultralist gets the setup, but he gets heavily pressured by Madara and Cattle.
Gets the phase shift from Banana. Slow is out. Jet propulsion not going to connect because we have the barrel roll away. Liam drops to less than, barely any HP whatsoever. Pops the Pyromania. Masquerade still fighting in the bottom lane. Avatar up in 30 seconds, and Chromie just trying to throw some artillery back to push back any Chili Mountain members from stepping in. Third objective phase is up and available. Cure to grab a wave through mid. We have no packs available as well, and Cattle just checks the boss one more time.
Overall, biggest problem for 30k has been that Zeratul hasn't been able to play the game against the double silence between Polymorph and Containment Disc. Should Containment Disc ever miss, make no mistake, that's going to be quite a big difference in the course of a battle, in the way that we can see events unfolding. It's because Chili Mountain has continued to not make any mistakes that they have managed to, so far, build on their lead over and over, but things can still change. 30k has done a great job of mitigating siege damage against themselves. 3 keeps are still alive, Bahamut.
Man, I'm liking how Chili Mountain's playing this. Members of 30k are still rallying here, but more siege damage into 30k's side of the map as the objective is up. Cattle starting to pull those jailers away so that way Cure can get the channel here, but Falstad should have an interrupt with 1 Q over the wall. That level 7 is going to be the secret weapon, which gives the extra range every time you throw out the hammering too.
We've heard before from Chili Mountain, now 30k has the job of trying to figure out this dilemma split situation, boss versus boss objective. What do you say we jump into their camps to see how they're getting on sometime soon?
I say that sounds really good. Let's just go in now and hear what they're saying.
All right, let's jump into it.
Okay.
Unless it's for CDR.
He's normally the only one I can be in range of, but yeah.
That's fine.
Doesn't matter, like he won't die
Yeah,
ever.
you can't do it.
Yeah.
Just save it.
Camp in 15, I'll instantly do
I mean, double loop, you can't
they're in
harden
fly
both
range.
sides of the loop.
Yeah, he can.
I can come soon.
Careful soon.
As long as Chromie Whiteman are close enough.
I
they can
insta
harden.
can.
You need me soon. I'm coming. Boss is okay, of course.
I think
Yeah,
they're
fine.
camping. I think they're camping as well.
Yeah.
Most likely.
Alright, I'll get another wave real fast.
Fine.
I'm coming
Eyes
now.
on Falstad.
It was
Mounting
here.
up.
It's top now.
They're just macroing, but we're doing okay in answering it. I'm getting mid really quick.
Heard a little bit of the setup of what they wanted to do there. I think the big priority is something, some sort of player on the double temporal loop is what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, they said like they can't do X on
Yeah.
both versions of the temporal because there's a double temporal. I guess it's lens or
Soothing
gust
Mist maybe?
or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Hardened is Justin was actually saying the shield on Muradin is what they were talking about.
It won't last long enough to resist both temporal loop timings because temporal is like 3 seconds. So it's actually happening over the course of 3 seconds. The first one is 3 seconds in, the next one is 6 seconds in.
Yeah.
And of course, Hardened Shield only lasts about 3 seconds.
Okay.
They are thinking of, can we blow up Muradin? Maybe they can with temporal.
Masquerade's got that 75 armor right now. In the level 1. Phase shift from Brightwing onto Make.
That's a big cooldown. Actually, that's something to watch for. Brightwing
Yeah.
now has a cooldown of 30 seconds. Needs minions to press that cooldown back down. It's 20 seconds right now. So people are more blow upable right now.
I think it's really going to come down to, at least for the side of Chili Mountain, this next fight. If 30K can win this fight, it's still not over. Like 30K, yeah, it's open. I think you said that right, Grubby. Because 30K, they need at least 2 solid team, not wipes, but team fight victories, I think.
Yeah, not 1 kill, but probably 2 kills, and then again 2 kills. That's kind of their road to being in a really good position. As for Chili Mountain, it's just really 1 kill away. 1 kill would get them the objective, and that would get them 2 keeps, and that virtually guarantees the game.
A little bit of back and forth in mid. There's going to be the Umbra Bind connecting on to Liam, who jet propulsions in. Cure trying to get onto Banana, but can't continue the damage. Whitemane being pressured by Hogger, who gets a pretty good bounce. Temporal Loop will connect onto Hogger, but he's going to mitigate that with a no control. There's the second Temporal Loop once again. Whitemane drops the healing down as well. Lightning Breath from Diablo cooking up Hogger, who's able to spin away. Now 30K are on the re-engage path. Banana so very low, gets sniped by the Chromie Sandblast, and this is what 30K needs. They got 1 kill, they'll clear out mid, but can they get objective? Make, as I mentioned, has that extra range on the hammering, so he can delay at least once.
That was really well done by 30K. They managed to resist the no control and every single ult. The lightning breath was huge. Reset, like we have the protection here coming in against the objective. 1 kill for a Brightwing that can immediately phase shift back in. And Chili Mountain is doing a really good job. Oh, he tried to throw dynamite over the wall. He's doing a really good job of delaying this.
Masquerade and Cure having a 1v1 in mid, and Masquerade, that's a temporal loop. We have a blink out from Cure. Gus from Falstead trying to save the moment with the wind tunnel. Double temporal loop puts Masquerade in the same spot as he's low. Gets the dwarf toss launch over the wall. Block stacks come through, and the objective stalled out at 34 seconds of channel time left for 30K.
That's really impressive, right?
This whole game is impressive, and Justin was alluding to this earlier. Every single map he's excited about for the series, and I'm right there with him. This is already such good back and forth. We're 25 minutes into map 1 in this second best of 5 of the day, and you can tell that these teams, they're putting everything on the line for this, just the singular map already.
Yeah, Brightwing died, and all 30K got out of it is 16 seconds of channel. Speaks to Chili Mountain's skill at defending this objective. The secret weapon helped a lot there. Maiev did a lot. Skulk tried to throw dynamites over with the split. That doesn't work. Was a bit too far. Containment dismisses. 40-second cooldown. Just need to buy time and continue to macro.
Wind tunnels available for the Falstad. Shockwave for the Hogger as well. We do have Drekthar clearing out the bottom wave, but it's not a concern to 30K because that will be cleared out. Drekthar will gain his health back for the side of 30K's core, so long as he doesn't take damage for it's like 2 seconds or something like that. And just this posturing through mid is terrifying from both sides, it feels.
Yeah, Reaver minions should continue to get stronger and stronger, but sadly via bottom lane, sadly for Chili Mountain, it's not enough to really pressure the core because of that regen. Reaver minions right now have 3,600 health, and that's nothing into a core with 40 health, with 40 armor. As soon as you open up mid-keep, though, suddenly that changes. Now you've got Reaver minions on 2 lanes coming at the core, and sometimes with the null pack camp that can armor debuff the core from +20 to suddenly 0, and suddenly minions become a threat. But like we heard when we were on the comms of 30K, they were not worried. They said, like, yeah, they're continuing to turtle and defend, but we're doing good on the macro. And it's true. Chances are still there for both teams. If this was Garden of Terror, a bottom lane like that would present serious issues with non-stop catapults on core, not on Alterac. You're in it for the long run. And 30K just needs a double kill at 1 point to get the objective. 1 kill wasn't enough. Double kill just might be.
Double kill would at least get the objective, and then we still have mid and bottom forts available for Chili Mountain. It's a tall order, as I had said before, for the side of 30K right now. Chili Mountain, they just need one good fight, and 30K is cognizant. They're conscious of this. They know that the enemy is just looking for a kill or two, and then they can run through the mid lane. I'm actually checking really quickly while we're in this pause. There's no keep front gate available in mid, so a good fight, rush to keep, take that, take core, take game. But for anyone wondering, we are in a small pause here. It looks like there's a headset issue with one of the players, so we're going to get that resolved, and we'll get us all back into map number 1 in this best of 5 series, our second one of the day. And it's just great. It's really great. We're really seeing the skill level of our top 2 teams currently in the standings being showcased right now as we're getting the count in ready, and we're back in, Grubby.
Let's get back into it. A bit of the breakup of the tendons, of the cadence of the game so far. Let's see if that makes any difference. So far, not. Both teams are defending. Masquerade on Muradin, zoning and anchoring in front of the prison camp, and Maka gets a Dino-esque idea.
Now, I don't think the vision from Chromie that was right before this did show the false. I think it was actually just out of range of where that showed. We will have this bot. Oh, here comes Cattle. Maybe they did see.
Oh, he sees it now.
Yeah, and everyone's rushing in. Oh, this could be a boss throw for either side. Polymorph onto Diablo. Maev makes it here first. Shadow Charge. There's going to be the Umber Bind. The Hellgate to actually get away. Unstoppable onto Diablo. Masquerade gets the Dwarf Toss away. Boss fully leashed as we have the Null Pack coming in through mid. Zeratul needs to clear this out as Grubby had made the connection earlier about how much the Null Pack can get. But Zeratul, he's got to be careful here. Or is it Banana who needs to be careful?
Banana has been the most killed member on Chili Mountain with 3 deaths. Likewise, Zeratul, Cure, with 4 deaths on his team. He gets polymorphed. Make that number 5! Jinxed!
Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Shockwave comes through, connecting onto Liam. And Cattle with the lightning breath. We have Muradin, Masquerade trying to get the objective phase once again, and I think he will be able to with the rest of his team. Zeratul dead for 48. 35 seconds of channel time left. Oh. 30K should be able to defend this. They should have everyone up and available to defend. Now, can they actually defend? That's a different question to be answered. And I think we might see that post Cure's respawn, unless 30K goes for a Hail Mary and makes a play here.
Yeah, 4v5 is not good enough. Prison guards do not constitute a missing hero. Even though Zeratul hasn't been able to do that much per se in some of the fights, it's not good enough. And the difference here for any other push with the generals, as the objective is going towards Chili Mountain, is that the waves are very pushed. We're talking about a general immediately on core that's going to be softening it up. With a near synchronized attack in the middle and the top lane as well, I think this is going to represent serious problems. We're going to look at the generals. They have 17,000 health. Put that in perspective to Diablo, 9,300. So let's say that every general is 2 Diablos worth of health, and you cannot affect them with percentage damage. Not to say that 30K has any of that anyway, and that is speaking of a very tall order of defense.
All right, orders up. We got Chili Mountain stepping in through mid. 30K looking for the defense. Liam gonna throw out a little bit of damage onto this general as the keep shall fall here. Kata with a couple fire stomps as well. General moves in towards core. Bottom lane just now arriving. Top lane approaching the keep here. Cattle seems to be the target. We have got an angle trying to be found by Make. Containment disc onto Diablo. There's the wind tunnel to push back the enemy members of 30K. Diablo's going to be cleansed. Need a time stop onto him as well. Fire Stomp's going out, and it seems like Chili Mountain won't end right here. Jump Propulsion will connect. There's the Temporal Loop on Skoog, and Skoog is going to go down. That will be the Blink Heal out from Banana, and only one goes down. Keep to fall, actually double keep to fall, and 30K, they have to clear. You already see Cure on it.
This is such a big difference. Like, they could just fly on. Falstad could fly on and end right here.
Like he will.
Falstad flies on!
He gets the W, 1,000 HP left. Falstad will fall, but it's also Drekthar to fall 29 minutes into map number 1.
Very, very impressive. Nicely played by Chili Mountain here. 30K looked good at times in this game. They did especially good at mitigation. But Chili Mountain looked extremely solid. I say unexpected just because I thought that a roster swap was going to hurt them. But this didn't turn out to be the case at all. Very high-level game. Justin, what did your expert eyes see?
So I can't kind of decide for sure which team is stronger just based off of this single game. It does feel to me like it's a bit of a draft mistake from 30k. I don't really understand what the white main did, and I was hoping that I would see that throughout this game. I was expecting to see the level 20, the mark, where she can put the mark on Zeratul. That was my expectation, and allow him to kind of just split push and do whatever he wants while she can globally heal him. That's not what we saw. We instead saw the level 20 ultimate upgrade for Legacy on the white main, and it didn't feel like there was anything really too special about the pick. It felt a little bit more like a detriment in a lot of the team fights. And Chili Mountain's composition, I'd say, was about a 90-10 win rate if both teams were even. I think it was a massive outdraft for Chili Mountain versus 30k. And Cure Zeratul not quite getting the value that it would have needed to get if we wanted to see it carry the game. The containment discs from Ultralisk on the Maiev were critical in shutting down Cure Zeratul, as were the Brightwing polymorphs from Banana. And it was a very back and forth game though, so 30k, while they did lose, I think they're still looking extremely strong, given that I do believe they're in a bit of a draft mismatch. And Chili Mountain having some mistakes here in the early game that 30k was able to capitalize on really kept them in the game a lot longer than I'd expect with this draft. 29 minutes is a pretty late time to get the objective, so it's good to see Chili Mountain be able to close out the game when they finally do get it, but it was a tough defense still for 30k. They still made him work for it. You had not until the Skog on the Hogger at the very end there was getting caught out and causing the distraction that allowed the top objective to nearly solo out the core. Outside of that moment, 30k was actually holding on for the most part, but it's just a little bit too impossible with the scaling on the objective at the end. Just overall though, Chili Mountain, they played well, and 30k played well. Both teams, I mean, it's apparent that they're the first and second place team right now. That both teams were neck and neck, even with, I'd say, a bit of a draft mistake for 30k. Here's Zeratul though, not getting quite the value that you'd expect, so I think that might put them in a bit of a risky situation as the drafts progress, where Ultralisk has a lot of an overlapping hero pool with what Pure plays, as he is a newer member to the roster. You have him playing the Maiev, which got a ton of value and completely shut down the Zeratul with the discs. And that's a little bit scary if you're 30k and if you expected this draft to work out, when the Maiev's, the Maiev being able to counter it is a bit scary. The Hogger played by Skoog was also really crucial in shutting down the Zeratul with the shockwaves. I think the part of the game that kind of showcased just how high of level the thinking is between these teams was when we saw the boss being scouted out by Madara with the vision from Chromie globally, while Make is just waiting just outside of vision and then starts it immediately as soon as the vision fades. Like, he was expecting that vision to come out with and then you have Cattle immediately sprinting down there like, wait, even though we didn't see it, we still don't know where they are. Yeah. Like, it was cool to see these kind of really subtle things, because this is the first and second place team right now. These kind of mind games that were occurring within the game. I'm definitely expecting this to be at least a 4-game series at this point. I don't think it'll be a 3-0 for Chili Mountain, because while they did win that game, it was very close and drawn out by 30k. 29 minutes for the last objective there. It's going to be a battle for either of these teams to be able to close it out. I'm expecting it to go to Game 5 with how close the teams are right now.
Well, let's go ahead and find out where we're going to for map number 2 in this series, and it is going to be another map choice by the side of 30k. Now, for anyone that doesn't know, the losing team, that is 30k in this series right now, has the opportunity for first pick or map pick going into the second, map. And 30k, as a team who are 3-0 in Infernal Shrines, against the side of Chili Mountain who are 1-0, 30k is just looking to go to another comfort map here, Grubby, just like Alterac Pass, which was 4-0 for the side of 30k, now 4-1.
4-1, very, very nice, yeah. Infernal Shrines coming in. Hogger is going to be good here. I think Chromie's a little bit less good here. Usually we see, at the moment, we see Chromie coming out on, I want to say, Tomb of the Spider Queen and Alterac for those delays. Not as good on Infernal. Really, when you think of Infernal, you need to think of heroes that are not easily flanked. Especially the top objective location is very unfriendly to ranged assassins. I could see some global value coming in as well here from Falstad. You can kind of play this game on the macro. The Punisher sometimes does a lot, sometimes not much. It really depends on the draft. Sylvanas is quite good here as well.
Oh, yeah.
I think there are a lot of possibilities of how to draft on Infernal.
This is the one map where we've talked about it a lot in the past between the three of us. I'd love to see more Mephisto here. This is a great Mephisto map. He's able to kind of jump into the objective, get a couple skeletal defenders, get some cooldown reduction as well onto enemy heroes, some skull missiles as well, and then he can just pop back out safely so long he's not like gorged or gets the perfect frame flip from a Diablo or something like that. But of course, Jesting, as we get into this map, could 30k run back the Zeratul, or do we really kind of put Zeratul on the shelf for this series? Because I'll be honest, in the past, I've always been impressed by Cure Zeratul, and mechanically it was very good in the last game, but it didn't get the Cure value as we've seen in the past. Do you shelve it here and look for something else?
It definitely didn't fill the role that the Thrall would fill for the comp traditionally. That was a situation where I was talking about it last week on the broadcast a bit, and I asked her about it, the Imperius as being a substitution for the Thrall, as they do a somewhat similar role. They're both melee flex that you can put in the 4-man that do a good job of killing enemy frontline that kill tanks. That allows Madara, who's really good at these mages, to play things like the Chromie or play things like the Mephisto, which is something that he was known for. So hopefully we'll see a Madara Mephisto later on in the draft. But that was a perfect example of where they didn't have the ability to kill the frontline, even though Madara on Chromie was hitting really huge combos on the frontline and they could just almost kill him, but Cure on Zeratul just doesn't do that damage that Thrall does to a frontline, whereas something like an Imperius would have. I can't help but feel if they had that tank killing damage on the Cure pick, that they would have been able to take that last game and they would have been able to punish the frontline more. So this would be a map where I wouldn't be surprised to see if Cure is comfortable with it and pick up the Imperius later on in the draft if they need that tank killing. But they do have the Tychus now, so it's not needed anymore.
Tychus is extremely strong here. I'm waiting to see what Chili Mountain grabs, because I do want to kind of take a look before I do throw it back over to Grubby, but it is going to be a Lucio, which is already strong. Blaze Falstad. I like this a lot already, Grubby. I really do.
Yeah, I was expecting Johanna to come out, but they must not think that Johanna will get banned, so they can pick it later, perhaps, while still threatening potentially either something weird like a Tyrael or maybe something like a Stitches. Stitches tends to have a late game advantage over Diablo simply because he has double the engage range. Blaze and Falstad show another really preference towards being able to play the macro game, which was really solid. Falstad Gust together with Gorge can be a great single target pickoff comp. I think there is that possibility. Ultralisk does also like going things like either Tracer or Imperius. He's very flexible. You could see like a Stitches and a Tracer coming out, and that could be quite cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a different roster with Chili Mountain dropping Dino and picking up Skoog. They were the members of Chili Mountain were 5-0 with their Tracer, but that was a Dino Tracer in a few past weeks.
That's true.
Also, I think Dino got like 3 Tracers in a row against Simplicity, I think it was, or maybe it was Granite. I can't remember specifically, but he got 3 in a row, and it was a 3-0 for that series. So it's a little bit padded in that stat, essentially. But Justin, any thoughts on the draft so far?
I really like what Chili Mountain has done with the Hogger ban. Leoric is still available for 30k, and Sergeant Hammer is also still available for 30k. I would not hate to see either of those picked up. We have Johanna Stukov instead. So Liam going to be playing the offlane Johanna most likely, something that we haven't seen in quite a while, not since she was first sort of reworked or soft reworked, that we had quite a bit of offlane Johanna. So that's a kind of new tech. I would have preferred the Leoric because it has the ability to solo the Shrine and also wins the 1v1 against Blaze, and was also a sort of counter into Sergeant Hammer. If Chili Mountain plays Sergeant Hammer, they get it here. I think that's quite strong, but it doesn't really fit the typical Ultralisk playstyle. And it doesn't. We've got the Malthael Tyrael, so we've got the Sanctification plus the Malthael stuff on the Shrine. That's something we have not seen in a very long time, and these are also heroes that are just not priority picks in general right now. Very strange. It's a very brave last 2 picks for Chili Mountain. I think their first 3 picks were very high priority picks.
Logan's really excited. Logan was so excited about the Tyrael Malthael just now, but sorry, Justin, we all got blown away by just Logan's cuteness.
Sorry.
No, please do not apologize ever for showing us Logan. Hanzo, last pick here. Justin, can you break it down for us, please?
Yep, we got another good boy in the last pick here in Hanzo being picked up for 30k. 30k has just a strong front to back with the double ranged and double frontline. The Stukov is a little bit strange here, as he doesn't have any way to really safely save anybody who is going to get potentially one-shot by a last right now, coming out from Malthael on Ultralisk playing the Malthael. typically you'd expect to see the Tormented Souls on this map, but you don't need to. You do have the option to just still go with the Last Rites, and there's not a good response from 30k right now. None of the heroes on the side of 30k can easily deal with the Last Rites. Johanna, played by Liam, will have her D, her Unstoppable, her shield that she can give herself, but Stukov is not very good at saving people from a Last Rite, so a lot of options for Chili Mountain right now. Their draft looks really strong. If you do go with the Tormented Souls route, you have Diablo, Johanna, just really tanky frontline heroes that you can reset your Ws on with the Tormented Souls. You have huge teamfight ultimates in Tormented, Sanctification, and Gust. I think that Chili Mountain's composition once again looks quite a bit better. This one I wouldn't say is as favored on the side of Chili Mountain as the last draft, where you had a lot of mismatches with the Zeratul into tons of CC. This one I'd say is a little bit more even, but I still think it's slightly Chili Mountain favored. So we'll see here if Chili Mountain is just for sure the better team in the series today, or if last game was a fluke based on the draft.
Well, thank you, Justin, as always, for the analysis and breakdown, because here on the side of Chili Mountain, we've got Masquerade on the Tyrael, Skoog on the Blaze, Make on the Falstad, Banana on the Lucio, and Ultralisk on the Malthael. For the side of 30k, we're going to be looking at Legacy on the Stukov, Kira on the Hanzo, Cattle on the Diablo, Tychus to be played by Madara, and Liam on the Joanna. I'm feeling Grubby. I'm feeling this Chili Mountain draft here. I really do think that they've got a lot of great tools to kind of pick apart 30k, and 30k strong team, but I really think this Malthael, Lucio, those two things with the speed and being able to dive around are going to be huge. And then, I mean, Falstad last game was beautifully played by Make. I like the Chili Mountain draft. I like what they're doing here. I think they go up after Infernal Shrines 2-0. What do you think here about the drafts, or even how Infernal Shrines could end up?
Yeah, I find it interesting to see this Diablo Johanna Tychus combination coming up again. When Johanna was at her most OP a couple of months back, when she first got the rework with the double blind finally coming in with that damage scaling being correct, we saw this all the time. Diablo gets countered by Tychus, Johanna counters Tychus, but you don't take them together because they're both tanks. So you go Diablo and Tychus, and then you take away Johanna so that they cannot remove Tychus minigun damage on your Diablo. So the Johanna is there to protect the Diablo from enemy ranged assassins, be it Tychus or anyone else. That combination was very common, Johanna being used as the offlane. We saw a lot of Falling Sword, but it can absolutely just be Blessed Shield. I like that combo a lot. Blaze as a main tank kind of sucks, but with Tyrael as a main tank, it's kind of really, really hard. But together, yeah, I think they just might be enough of a tank for the 4-man to actually pull it off. You get the stuns, you get the move speed. Blaze struggles at having move speed, Tyrael struggles at having stun. Together, they got more. Tyrael's squishy, and we already kind of see that. Auto attack, and dead.
Well, Tyrael will get 10% off of his death timer. Actually, I don't know if he did onto Legacy right there. I looked away for a second. But the explosion takes 10% off of your death timer per enemy hero hit. Well, and Cure also going to be going Q build on the Hanzo right now. I doubt we see the level 16, that spice that I love so very much, which gives you really, really good spell power and also auto attack buff damage at level 16. The Flawless Technique, I believe, is the name of the talent that I like to go into. You also get the Dragon Hungers at 7, so you're bolstering all this spell power. At level 16, if you land a Q auto, you deal like 1,500 damage.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's actually, I think it's critical. It's like massively underplayed, but of course everyone at level 16, they take Piercing because Piercing does get a lot of good value as well. But right now, first Shrine, gonna be spawning top of the map. We already have Malthael grabbing an extra wave. Mortar Punisher, and experience-wise, it's pretty close between both teams. Maybe a sliver ahead to 30k, but still waves to be cleared out as Falstad grabs another one in bottom, picking up a few more stacks on his level 1 auto attack Frequent Flyer.
And Madara going for this build again. He used this last week. I don't remember against who. I think it was a lower ranked team. Let's see, 30k last week. Anyway, Tychus used this auto attack range into the minigun duration, and then minigun resets after run and gun, like 4-second CDR after you run and gun at level 7. And then at 13, I think he took Neo Steel Coating. So very, very different build. Still went with Odin though. And this is good when you're against multiple frontliners. If there's one frontliner, bigger they are, hands down. You're burning them and they have to leave, and now you've created space. But against 3 frontliners, this is nice. Because they take turns frontlining, right? Yep. And you want to have enough breath to keep up the sustained damage.
And it was up against Diamond Hands. I peeked back at my notes. I believe the 30k matchup last weekend. 7 talent tiers up for both sides. Now, what is Kier taking at level 7? This is something I've been watching on the Hanzo build. Is he going spell power? What is he looking for on that level 7 talent? Because he's still holding for quite some time. I am curious about the reasoning on that one, but we'll get into that later as we also have Lucio putting pressure on Joanne on the bottom right of our map. We also have Cattle being slowed down in their rotation, Banana doing banana things on the Lucio.
Just stopping Johanna so that Falstad gets more value. Soundwave was already used. He can't use it to disrupt Diablo. Diablo's healing a lot.
Fire
If he hits another Fire Stomp, he can stay alive. 51 Soul Shield, but they do get him. The Beast is dead. First kill for Chili Mountain, even as they do lose the objective.
They lose the objective. Joanna's able to grab the level 4 subdue in that fight as well, so Diablo falls so that talent can be finished out. Make getting slowed a little bit. Ultraless comes in, and we have the we have the Punisher jumping backwards, which I think is a very smart play from Chili Mountain, so that way it's not dealing free damage to the fort or splash damage from the jump. So a little bit of tech coming out from the Chili Mountain crew. As Banana, do you remember in HCC, like towards the end of HCC, we had a lot of teams doing like the fake Har thing? Do you remember that, Grubby? And I feel like they would fake hearth, like, so they would finish a wave and then start hearthing, and there would be that couple seconds of vision still left on them. It's like, oh, that person's hearthing in top lane. I feel like Maltheo was just actually doing that as well as Hanzo does go down.
Damn, nice kill by Chili Mountain to catch Hanzo on the rotation. That was 3 versus 5 for a bit, but Hanzo coming in late. Blaze goes down. It's a bloodbath. Madara being chased here. People are so fast. Liam getting caught as well. Dude, I'm loving this Banana H Lucio. It's looking so good. He's been an absolute berk against 30k. Just a complete needle in the side here. Look at that crazy damage coming in as well. There's the Shadow Charge. Lucio is supersonic. He can do every 10 seconds one of those dashes that slow people, and no doubt going for the stun at level 13 as well.
You know, we got 10 talent tiers here for both sides as Diablo gets the Shadow Charge, Gus from the Falstad, Cattle split from his team. Last Rites is available for the Maltheo, but he's still got to rotate into this. Grubby, though, while we are going to be in a lull for a second here, what's a Burk? Is that like a
silly person?
Oh, okay.
Kind of like a silly person, or
a clown?
Not super smart. Like a Burk, like a plank.
Oh,
a dingus.
A dingus. Okay, all right. I know what a dingus is. Okay. So I just, I gotta learn these new words as well. I taught you yakety sax. You get to teach me Burke. So we're learning from each other. We're spreading the culture.
I'm listening to yakety sax right now. I'll repeat an hour version.
It's such a good song. I mean, it's my favorite thing to fall asleep to at night.
I'm sure.
Beyond just rewatching every single CCL VOD every single night over on the Wisdom Gaming.
You do that too.
Over on the HeroesCCL YouTube channel. Yeah, every single night.
Yeah.
You know?
What's the channel?
HeroesHearth. I think it's youtube.com/HeroesHearth.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna bookmark that one. Definitely want to have that as a lullaby as well. Little tip for people out there as well that want to catch up on some VODs they may have missed. Now, as we look at the intentions of Chili Mountain, we can see them congregating around the bottom lane. 4 of them, as Maltheo holds his own on the left side of the map. W build. Probably going to get that level 16 Wraith Strike upgrade to do 8% percentage damage when you teleport on top of someone. Chili Mountain once again looking extremely strong on the macro.
Chili Mountain's looking strong. Do you actually get into 30k comms and hear how they're trying to deal with Chili Mountain?
Let's see it.
All right, here we go.
Get the lead.
Yeah.
Just get walking down now.
I'm clicking.
Position. They will have 13 advantage. I want to get.
Yeah, that mid pro too. Just get the lead and then play 13, and then we get to play Shrine with Odin. Just play Shrine, like we win Shrine.
Can we clear this wave as well? Get 13.
Yeah, but we gotta seal these.
They're walking in soon. Blaze is flanking, maybe? He's looking.
Hero is not the double sword, so.
Okay.
We need to poke what we can. Watch the Blaze.
Yeah,
flank.
might need Odin soon, bro.
I'm hitting
slowing here. It's big.
Hero's in.
I'm stunned. I need help. I need help.
I have
You rolled in.
Watch that.
I have nothing.
I popped Odin.
I'm gonna ult this.
Maybe. Look at my slow here, maybe.
Maltheo's super low.
I'm on Skog.
Yeah, Maltheo's pretty low.
We're kind of chunked though.
I'm fine.
Tank down.
Kite again. Nice.
Up cow.
I have
Go
to
hit,
tap
come
it
out
too
there.
low. I have
Okay,
to
I'm
tap.
tapping as well. I think
It's
it's
just
gone.
gone. It's just gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hard to hold this fort as well.
It's gone. It's gone.
Maybe just stay under.
As we exit the comms, we can hear how they were trying so hard inside of 30k to make something happen, but Chili Mountain seeming like an impenetrable fortress of a composition.
Just the tiniest advantage in XP. Built up via superior hero kills. Madara playing real safe there. I wanted to say risky, but yeah, he did have Neo Steel coaching, so I guess. Yeah.
Jump from the Punisher connects onto Cattle. It's a lot of damage onto him. Lacerates is available. Lacerates goes out, and Cattle's chunked. That's going to be Souls reset. You do have 1 stack on the Malthael Lacerates, and a fort to fall for Chili Mountain, who begin opening up the map further than just fort front gates.
Yep. Like they said, the fort is gone, the objective is gone. 30k knew exactly what Chili Mountain just conquered for themselves. Now 30k is looking to defend the second layer of their ramparts, this fort here in the center. Ambo and Ultralisk. Was it actually going to be scary? Yes! Bullseye!
Nice snipe from Kira across the map. He does manage to solidify that kill. 73 stacks on the Tychus. 4 out of the 5 for this Hanzo. Curious who he needs to hit or how many times. 30 for the Falstad, and we got 46 souls on Cattle right now with that Fire Stomp build.
All right. 1 fort down, 30k. Still salvageable. But Chili Mountain does look like they're doing really great with its draft that I don't think we've seen a single time yet. Real Blaze Malthael is not something we've, I believe, ever had in one single draft, but definitely not this season. You always wonder, is this one of those Azmodan to run the drafts, or is it actually good? And it looks really good and well played as well.
Towards the end of Season 3 of CCL, we got into a little bit of the meta of 2 bruisers, a tank, and then a hyper carry sort of deal. We used to do the hyper carry sort of deal, but it would be double support in that situation. So towards the end of Season 3, we started seeing more and more of this kind of draft style, the hyper carry Falstad for the side of Chili Mountain. But I like it because Malthael, he still does significant damage. Blaze's CC is great. He offers up bunkers. And Tyrael, he is a support by what he's able to do for the allies as well as that tank. But here comes the Jet Propulsion. Banana trying to just back away, trying to peel away a little bit from this fight. So he does not want to go down. 5-3 in kills, and 16 just now achieved by the side of 30k as Falstad continues to stack his frequent flyer, 33rd stack just now.
And not a single ult used for Chili Mountain in that feint of an engage. They did draw out Dragon's Arrow from 30k. It's on a 40-second cooldown, so Chili Mountain got a little bit out of that. As it all started with Masquerade just kind of pressuring Hanzo via his Tyrael. Kind of a different build from Tyrael coming out as well. Picks the level 13 Smite, but then goes for Heraldric Reforging, just more swords. Haven't seen this all that much, but looking good so far. Most of the damage this game is coming in from Falstad. He's got 27,000 hero damage, the highest in game, followed closely by 26 Hanzo, 25 Tychus. Malthael doesn't have as much damage, the same as Tyrael in fact, 17. But he's an important finisher here for Chili Mountain naturally.
30k wanting to delay out this bruiser camp as long as they possibly can. The Sonic Arrow does kind of give away like, hey, yeah, there's people over here making sure that this camp will not be stolen out. And Chili Mountain grab their own Fallen Shaman. Tyrael with the Eldruin's Might forward does get some scouting for the team. Banana keeping that wall ride active. I'm waiting patiently for this aggressive team fight to break out. This should be a big one. It is going to be our Frozen Punisher mid lane.
6 skeletons immediately to the side of 30k. Of course, Hanzo can one-shot them now with the piercing arrow if he aims well. Odin coming in as well. Cattle takes a lot of heat. He's within Last Right's kill.
Last Rites goes out, Sanctification on the ground, and that's going to be Diablo going down. His soul's not enough to be reset, as Liam is low. Blessed Shield will be utilized. Gust from the Falstad to alleviate the pressure from 30k as Chili Mountain continues to go ahead, or rush ahead, race ahead. Big push off from Banana, who does have the heavy casters. That's going to be a lot of damage onto Liam. Liam will be going down. Madara all alone, or at least trying to stay alive here. Legacy did have that lurking arm, as Malthael will be traded. It's a 2 for 3, but the bloodbath, it ain't over yet. Blood has been spilled, and there is blood in the water. The sharks are out, and Chili Mountain will gobble up 4 members of 30k.
I'm gonna go ahead and make a prediction now, just kind of looking at the flow of every team fight that they have this game and the previous one. I think 30k is gonna ban Falstad in the third map.
Oh, I feel like, yeah.
Right? Every single time they have a good engage happening, Gust comes out to block it. Every time in a quiet moment of the game, Falstad is on the side lane. We can see that fight once again. First of all, Diablo just completely by himself. He's unable to be saved, especially when the Sanct comes out. Last Rites picks him off. Then you've got the Blessed Shield coming in soon. There we go, Blessed Shield. Just cast them away.
Yep.
And no follow-up is possible at all. Lightning Breath was available. That's how much Diablo was being pressured. And although Johanna Diablo together should be a frontline that can withstand the push of Falstad, because of Sanctification, the blind cannot protect Diablo from Falstad's auto attacks. Really, the key, if anything, would be that when Diablo starts getting attacked, that somehow Blessed Shield or Condemn interrupts the Sanctification, so that Stukov, so that Dragon Arrow, so that Johanna's CC can actually affect the cluttered team of Chili Mountain.
Sir, I looked away for a 1 second to make a note in my notebook, and I don't know why Johanna was over here.
He wanted to get level 20. He thought that Chili Mountain will push with the objective, I think.
Okay.
And he greedily took a top wave, thinking, either you come for me and you kill me, or I start working on our level 20, you push mid, but we get 20 quicker. I think he's happy with this, despite dying, because it took Chili Mountain as far away from mid fort as possible.
Uh-oh, Cure, he's gonna get stunned.
God.
That's the heavy casters, and a staggered death you do not want on the side of 30k right there. I also want to point out, just this is a compliment just to Ultralisk as a player, and understanding the game mechanically and just knowledge-wise. Popping the last rites, even while the Iron Skin was still active for the Johanna, it just shows that he also understands the window in which he has to utilize some of these abilities, because I believe the Iron Skin ended just as Last Rites procced. Just really, really cool little mechanical skill that I want to give compliment to Ultralisk for.
If that's what happened, props on you for seeing it. I was wondering if it still went through the shield, but because shield isn't counted as a percentage of health, that means that effectively Johanna had 2k health with the shield, but that only like 400 health of it was real, which means that Last Rites is doing like 50% of her health in damage, since she almost has no health. Rather than having to go past the 33% mark of someone's health, he was hitting it when it was even much lower, and not even the shield was enough to stop it. But maybe you're right, and it burned through, right after the shield. Either way, she was dead, right? Because, you know, it was on an island in the top left.
I actually just saw it back on live, and it was like half a second after Iron Skin ended. It was actually perfectly timed.
Well seen.
Perfectly timed from Ultralisk. Big compliment to them as a player. But let's go ahead and take stock of the map, Grubby. All the structures still available for the side of Chili Mountain. Most damage into the top lane fort. Whereas the 30k members have lost 3 forts. You can already see Chili Mountain on the minimap, and actually on the side of 30k, they should see the vast majority of members pushing in through bottom lane. Why is this? Next Punisher, Mortar, in bottom lane, opening up this map, or opening up this lane, and potentially guaranteeing a keep, maybe even game number 2, is what Chili Mountain wants to do. But of course, 30k, they want to make something happen right here, right now.
I don't think that Arm on Tyrael helped much. I guess he was trying to stop the Sanct, but the Sanct was held. This is a really big Mighty Gust. Odin goes in with the transformation. They actually do get Tyrael. This is turning out... Oh, wow! Odin gets blown up from full life. That's impressive.
Cattle is going to get hit with the last rites, chunked down to about a third of his HP. There's going to be a big shield coming out as well for a few of these 30k players because of the level 20 from the Johanna, but the fight still progresses. Banana gets sniped by the Sonic Arrow. Low Diablo tries to back away. The damage over time solidifies his kill. Legacy, the next target for Ultralisk, but he is by himself. He does have a nice target in Liam, but there's the lurking arm. Cure trying to find the outplay. Ultralisk may have overextended. Doesn't have a way to back away. Top lane fort does go down, and Ultralisk, he's buying a window for Blaze and friends to back off here as Cattle does get a few extra souls from that kill because Diablo, the baseline, you get 10 souls per kill as well.
And no forts were hurt in the process for 30k. So even though it looked like they were initially losing that fight, this was really a massive victory. They had the earlier deaths, they had the Diablo death, who has the souls, and the Bruiser camp killed the top fort. And now the objective has become available for 30k. Finally, they can win an objective. and they need that push power.
Yeah.
Odin represents much, but it was always forced to be used in a team fight, never during some kind of push. And Hanzo really doesn't have much siege power, so this Punisher is very needed for 30k. The question is, will 30k 39 it? And their movement tells me yes.
Yeah.
39ing it is good because it allows them to take control of the top lane and the mid lane before committing to be forced to accompany this Punisher.
But you talk about, control of these top and mid, and we already have Falstad, Blaze on the top, pushing up the Fallen Shaman. We've got, Lucio was floating in mid as well, and bottom lane does have a camp. 39 on the objective, Firestomp to just check in those bushes to make sure that Madara Legacy we're not going to get rotated on. But now I wonder, what does Chili Mountain go for? I will say this, I saw that wind tunnel against the wall against 3, and I thought it was all over for 30k, but good on them to really play that so well. Reactive Ballista Spores, I feel like, was a huge factor in them surviving that Legacy Stukov was key, critical in making sure that 30k lives through that. But here is the objective to the side of 30k. What do they get beyond my assumption of a fort?
Well, they get a Mortar Punisher. It has a health total of 34,200 health. That is about 3.2 Diablos worth of health. Not counting his healing, any Stukov healing, any spell shield, just 3.2 flat. So this could very well be a keep. Let's see.
Commandeer Odin with the big red button. The jump from the Punisher goes over the wall as the members of Chili Mountain chunk the Punisher nearly down to 50% in that, 3 to 4 second window. Lines out from the Joan as well. Liam just trying to slow down the clear onto this as we have Malthael. He's going to self-cleanse. Ultralisk does tap well. Lotto, actually, I think there was a couple pre-taps right there as the Punisher will end, and Skoog and crew can actually look for a re-engage. The core will clear out the Punisher. Maybe some scratching on the shielding. And 30k, they're trying to back away. That's the Jet Propulsion connecting on to Madara, who does lose his Commandeer Odin. The arrow does not connect. Masquerade Low is going to be able to back away. We have everyone chasing in, and a big disengage for the side of 30k.
Yo, Chili Mountain still has every single ultimate ability available. They could actually gust in if they wanted to.
Angle is going to be attempted here. Massive shove onto Make. There's the last rights onto somebody. It's going to be the Stukov to go down. That's probably the worst one to fall because now Cattle, he's on an island, and Diablo say good. Wait, does he get a Fire Stomp? Does he get anything? No, he didn't. If he had one Fire Stomp, he would have got his souls and he would have been back into this to defend. But I think we trade keeps. I don't know if Chili Mountain is lethal here.
If they get a kill, it's a win. They still have Gust, no Sank though. If they don't get a kill, it's a keep and then a siege on mid, I think.
Well, there was the attempted Jet Propulsion. Banana drops very low. Cure poking out as much as he possibly can. And this keep is sitting around, it should fall here as this is just going to be a raw push through bottom lane. And with 22 on Stukov, 30 on the Diablo, Chili Mountain, they want this. They want to go up in the series. They want to be 2-0 against the Titan that is 30k. But we can see the pressure is just too much. Oh, wait, hold on. Big arrow. Is there a kill?
Oh my god. Skulk got hurt so bad. I still like the Chili Mountain. Oh! Now, those were a lot of ults. Odin, Blessed Shield, and Hanzo Arrow were used to try and get a kill, and it was close. Both Ultralisk and Skulk got dropped pretty low. Moreover, 30k has just ever so slightly much push power in the top lane. It managed to kill a gate, a side gate, and a tower, so the time buying was kind of worth it. But for Chili Mountain to bait out a couple of ults, that's solid. They should be back in time, though, for the top objective.
It's 15 to 8 in kills, which is crazy to me. And a solid level lead to the side of Chili Mountain with said extra kills. Next Punisher, top lane, gonna be frozen. Big siege value from that, and good damage as well. That also could be our final Punisher for this map. For either team, realistically, 30k could win this and go keep and go core. So could Chili Mountain. Oh, I'm excited for this next objective, Grubby. This next objective will be massive for either side.
Yeah, I think so, Bahamut. I think it's going to be all deciding. It's activating now. We have this little trap set up by Tyrael and Lucio, seeing if maybe 30k is looking to invade on the Bruiser camp. And with how early that Bruiser camp was taken, 30k has much information right now. They've every lane pushed, in fact, all three. Very impressive. But now with the Bruiser camp coming out for Chili Mountain, soon they will take vision supremacy in the top lane. It still takes a little bit. And everything could come down to Skulk and Cattle's movement here. There's a Blessed Shield on Malthael! It's a full engage!
Malthiel,
That was so good by 30k.
Malthiel goes down. He doesn't have the buyback at level 20 either. Cattle very low, does have full souls. There's going to be some decent damage into the side of Chili Mountain from 30k, and the Commandeer Odin has to be pushed away by Wind Tunnel. Hanzo nearly kills Banana, so 47 seconds on Malthiel. Objective up. The assumption is it goes to the side of 30k.
This was so important for 30k.
Yeah.
They were down in structures, but actually ahead in the present macro situation on vision. Top lane was about to be turned against them. They only had this one window to stand in that bush, playing under the assumption that maybe Chili Mountain thought that they were in the top bush near the objective. And the Blessed Shield hit Malthiel. This was well done. Whoa!
No Wind Tunnel for 20 seconds, but it's a split fight. It's a 4v4 for the time being because you had Liam trying to get the objective, but the members of 30k are able to back away. Tension can be felt between both these teams as Chili Mountain run full force, into Cattle.
Now what happens when this Punisher is taken? It's a frozen Punisher. The defenses aren't going to be as effective. Frozen Punisher, remember the last one was 3.2 Diablos. This one has 42,000 health against 9,000 of Diablo. Lucio! Another big kill for 30k. They found another target off the back of a Blessed Shield Dragon Arrow combo. Chili Mountain is falling apart with 2 consecutive kills, but it's 30k that found that window. Liam finally able to do a huge job on Johanna with that side lane. Coming out of the bunker, there's a Stukov combo. That's gotta be it. That's gotta be it.
Sanctification is on the ground. We have the Holy Arena from said Tyrael, and now the Punisher works on the top lane keep. Mid lane keep on the side of 30k is going down to Katas, but that's not the storyline. It's Make falling over here on the left-hand side of our screen. The keep to fall, it's not even necessary. 30k, they're the ones who want to go lethal. Punisher wants to grab more experience, but fun fact, there's no experience in custom games, as that's another jump
Punisher
onto Malthiel, and he will go down a 4-kill quadra-kill to the side of 30k, and they end this map number 2, equalizing. It's no 2-0 to the side of Chili Mountain. We got a series on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. Everything was looking so good for Chili Mountain in the early game. I mean, I think before that last Punisher, I think it was like 15 to 7 or something in kills, and one critical moment, one critical blessed shield was the spiral out of control. And Justin, we're going to bring you back into the mix right now. I'm curious, is Joanna, Liam, your MVP of this game, or is it all a 30k? Because honestly, Liam is the reason this game was won in my book.
Yeah, it's tough to call for the whole game overall. I would say Liam kind of has to be it with being able to get those picks. Liam and Cure having the CC setup for those last 2 picks was really important, and being able to combo everything together really well. It's really what won them the game was those last 2 picks. But that was a tough game, an uphill battle for 30k. It felt like Chili Mountain was going to just take the game and run with it. They had a composition that had a bunch of mobility. Every single member on the side of Chili Mountain can kind of just dash at you. You have Blaze Dash, Tyrael Q, Falstad E. Lucio has move speed for everyone, who's just going to enable everyone to get there even quicker. Malthiel has his own dash on his W. So they're all just zooming around, diving into the backline as a big unit, just this big death ball running around. Typically, the Blaze plus Tyrael I'm not a huge fan of, but in this situation it was pretty good because they had the defensive ults to just to enable everyone else to play this aggressive dive. And Chili Mountain looked like they were just going to run with it. You had Cattle with no real response for last rights, as you have a Stukov solo healer. You don't have a bunker or anything to get the last rights off of you. So if Cattle plays in the front line trying to play the tank role, he's kind of just going to get ran past and last righted, which is what we saw in the middle fight. It's what we saw quite a bit, where you just have this super fast Chili Mountain just zooming at you. This is the fight I was talking about, where Cattle's trying to play tank, and he's just going to get shredded on the front line. He goes too far forward, gets last righted. You have the Sanct on top of it, so there's really no response at all from 30k. And it felt like this was going to be every team fight was just going to go this way, where you have 30k trying to play really slow with their double ranged, with their Hanzo and their Tychus, and 2 tanks in the front line, whereas Chili Mountain wants to play really fast and just shred your front line or dive your back line all together as a unit. And it felt unwinnable for 30k up until the fatal bot push for Chili Mountain. A little bit too greedy, trying to get push on the bot keep, trying to prep that last objective. Oh, well, it would have been the last objective had they gotten it, but Chili Mountain way too far forward. You had Legacy with the redeeming shove onto the Tyrael onto Masquerade that was kind of the potential throw in bot lane, and then you had 30k where I thought they were going to actually lose the game here when they pushed too far forward, allowed Chili Mountain to get their taps off, and then re-engage where they do have the Lucio speed, they do have all the mobility like I talked about. It's basically like trying to siege into 5 Illidan's where as soon as you run out of steam and start being on the back foot, you just get ran down all the way back to your base, which is what we saw there. The thing that really won the game though for 30k were those 2 picks in the top lane. You had the first pick onto the Malthael, who was really greedy. Ultralisk, super greedy, taking the E level 20 upgrade for Malthael, not going with the Revive level 20, and that kind of paid, kind of bit him at the end there. That was something that I'm sure he will regret after getting picked there. But really critical times to make their plays to come back into the game for 30k. I think that they had a losing draft overall. It was close. It wasn't unwinnable, but it was definitely more difficult as we saw through the early game for 30k to be able to win that game. So 30k taking it now. I think that they're going to have the momentum going into the rest of the series. I'm expecting 30k to look a lot stronger in our next match, as they should have, or our next map, as they should have the momentum.
Kira had some beautiful snipes on that Hanzo. I was a little worried about Kira's Hanzo because we often see him more so on like the melee rules. He really performs in those, Zeratul, Thrall, Maiev in the past, and so I was a little unsure about his Hanzo play. But landing some of those sonic arrows, some of the the storm bows with the follow-up scatter and or an auto attack woven in between all of that was really well played. We had that kind of downtown from bottom lane into mid area shot with the heroic that solidified a kill. I don't think it was necessary, but it still was that flair that we like to see from 30k from Kira. So a lot of good momentum for the side of 30k in this best of 5 series, but it's not over. We're only through 2 games, and I mean, Justin, you said that this is going to be a 4-5 game series. I'm right there with you. After that last game, I feel like we will end this series on a game number 5, but of course, we got to get to that point, and to get to that point, we got to take a little bit of a break here. In this break, I want you all to spam the Twitch channels, sorry to the moderators, ! Prize pool. What does this do? It gets you over to the match arena where you can donate towards the prize pool and push it further and further up for these players. We're currently at $11,335.11 because of your generosity. We could hit $11,500 today. It's always fun to set these little goals, but of course, as I said, we're going to take a short little break. When we come back, map number 3 between Chili Mountain and 30k here on HeroesCCL, presented by Wisdom. Welcome back to HeroesCCL, ladies and gentlemen, and Supreme Samuro players. My name is Bahamut, still joined by Grubby and Justin. And you know, we're in the midst of this best of 5. We've got Chili Mountain up and 30k, both up actually, one in this best of 5 series. I had a thought though, Grubby, Justin, during the break, and I'm just curious. You two are also pet owners, or you are the door operator for an animal. Do you keep cold water in your fridge for their dish? Like in a separate like container. Like I have like a container that I keep in the fridge that I just fill Bandit's bowl with, so it like the water stays cold. I don't know about you, but I'm just like, if I like cold water, he should, right?
We have very cold water out of the sink.
Oh, Grubby, you're muted for me.
Oh, we have very cold water out of the kitchen tap. You don't?
It is, but it's like there's like an extra level of just cold. I don't know. That's just me. Maybe I'm weird in this. Justin, do you?
Well, Springy's bowl is right next to the sink, and so pretty much every time I go in there, she follows me in there, and I just refill her water, and she just like waits for new water.
I'm just a weirdo, is what I'm really kind of figuring out here, and I've just kind of How
did Bandit tell you that only cold water is good enough? Like it's like, hey, from the fridge, and
maybe he wants bubbly water, perhaps.
No, I mean, he's afraid of ice cubes, honestly. He's afraid of his own shadow, realistically. No, I just like, it's one of those things, like if I like cold water, maybe my dog does. So it's one of those extra steps that we take. I don't know. Maybe. Either way.
I guess, I mean, I like Rubik's Cube, so does Logan, so I can definitely see how that extends.
How has his speed running of Rubik's Cubes gone? Like, what's he got his time down to?
He's moving on to the next challenge right now, actually. He's currently embroidering a sweater for Christmas.
Oh my god, I can't wait. Do I have to use some channel points to get myself into like a raffle for this, or is this for you and Cass?
No, you're a friend and an esteemed co-commentator. Yes. I'll send you one.
Yes, I'm excited. I'll have to send you a Christmas card as well, because I'll be making some myself. But Grubby, Justin, as I mentioned, we're in the midst of this best of 5. We've got some really good Heroes of Storm. Like, when we went to break, I think everyone was like, this is some good HoTS action. So let's find out where we're going to for map number 3 and continue our conversation about giving pets perfectly chilled water. No, I'm just kidding. We'll talk about Heroes of Storm. Chili Mountain will be choosing to take us to Towers of Doom, meaning Chili Mountain, they have some game plan that they want, as they are the losing team opting for this Towers of Doom map, and it is going to be a map record here, Justing, of 3-1 for the side of Chili Mountain and 2-0 for 30k.
Is it possible that we see the Vikings and the Sergeant Hammer that we've seen from Chili Mountain and Oxygen? I believe that's probably going to at least force a ban on the side of 30k if they're not able to deal with it, if they're not able to play it themselves, because we've seen 2 weeks now where that is a unbeatable strategy, where you pair the Sergeant Hammer with the Vikings on Towers of Doom. So I'm expecting that to at least draw some bans here, with Chili Mountain picking the map as the losing team.
But let me throw this back to you, Justin, as someone who's been a drafter, would you still consider that draft a threat with Chili Mountain dropping Dino, picking up Skoog, and not having Dino for that god tier tracers we saw in those past iterations of that draft you're talking about?
I don't think the Tracer was super important for the draft. I think it worked because Dino was playing the Tracer so well, and he kind of just created... Okay. He created space for the rest of the team, but I think the main thing is that Chili Mountain maybe is not comfortable playing the Vikings without Dayquaza. That is something that I hadn't considered, as Dayquaza was playing Vikings, and Vikings are definitely the highest skill cap part of that comp, where you either can play Vikings or you can't. I wouldn't feel comfortable playing Vikings in a game against AIs, so I definitely wouldn't expect a player to play it against a CCL team if they're not comfortable playing it.
It's okay, Justin. Don't worry. I can teach you all you need to know about AI playing Vikings. I can definitely. That's the one place where I'm like, I'll play Vikings here. Everywhere else, it's like, please don't let me do this. But we are gonna get some tank priority bans on a Masquerade, Grubby, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, what's with Tyrael ban? They beat it, right?
They did. Maybe they feel like it's just better on this map, or I don't know. It's weird.
I will say that when I see Masquerade on Tyrael, I think I'm a little bit more afraid for the enemy than when I see him on other picks. I think he's kind of specifically more known for the Tyrael than anything else. I think that's kind of Masquerade's signature hero at this point. Because in seasons 1 and 2, we saw him play mostly Johanna and Mei, and those have kind of... Johanna hasn't fallen out of the meta, but Mei is basically completely fallen out of the meta. And that leaves Tyrael as the last real defensive tank, as that kind of feels like Masquerade's main play style is this counter engage style. And Tyrael just does that really well and shuts down a lot of things. I think it's just a very specific target towards Masquerade.
Alright, well, we're through our ban phase. We've got a Brightwing, and there's a Dahaka Junkrat. Oh, Chili Mountain's already starting out really strong, Grubby.
Yeah, for sure. And not going into the tanks despite 3 tank bans already being there. They're really feeling each other out to see where they're headed towards. Johanna and Muradin and the Nubarak remain as strong picks. No one wants to make a pick before they see the other's tank pick. First getting that Dahaka and Junkrat. There's Blaze. Will we see a DPS coming in? No, it's going to be Johanna. So, which tank ideally would Chili Mountain be thinking about into Blaze, Johanna, Brightwing? Sooner an Nubarak or sooner a Muradin? I would venture towards Muradin most likely.
Muradin
makes... I do like the Muradin, yeah.
Yeah, Muradin makes a little bit more sense as you are into Blaze already, and Nubarak's main playstyle is to cocoon the support, then go for a one-shot. But when you're into Blaze, who can kind of be a second support with the bunker at saving somebody, it makes it really difficult because you poly the you cocoon the Brightwing, and then Blaze saves you with the bunker. You cocoon the Blaze, and Brightwing will save them with the phase shift. So I would prefer to see the Muradin. I would expect 30k to either ban it or Sergeant Hammer if they think that Chili Mountain can play Sergeant Hammer. Right now, having the Junkrat and the Dahaka is very, very good setup for the Hammer if Chili Mountain is able to play it. So I'm expecting either a Hammer or a Muradin ban, unless there's some other weird things going on. And I guess Lucio, I didn't even realize, normally Lucio's been banned by now, so... Okay, I guess that's fair. The Lucio ban makes sense. It's strange to see that after first picking Brightwing, though. Very weird priorities for 30k on the support role.
And Chili Mountain giving respect to the Cure Zeratul after they shut it down so hard in map number 1. Maybe Chili Mountain is looking at a composition that could be really impacted by the Zeratul play, whereas on Alterac Pass it wasn't the case. But right now, I don't really think there's a world where I'd be too afraid of the Zeratul. I mean, no polymorph from the Brightwing, but you still have a point-click stun from Uther. Pretty much that from Muradin. You got a drag from Dahaka. I like the 30k, or excuse me, the Chili Mountain draft so far, 30k with 2 more picks here, Grubby.
Yeah, they're figuring there isn't going to be as much poke, and that's why Uther maybe can be okay, but they can't be sure, right? There's still 2 DPS coming in. Could be Hanzo, could be Chromie. Hanzo could be Chromie. And other things. Lunara there trying to abuse the Uther heals. We might see double support coming in. Medivh wouldn't be not like necessarily insane. It would put them a little bit light on damage with Junkrat as the only DPS, but we've seen it before. Sometimes even with the frag launcher quest at level 4, they can help scale it up another 40% extra damage or so. Remains to be seen. You generally don't want to double support into Maiev, and it is going to be Tracer. It won't be Dino. It's going to be Make reprising the role this time.
I kind of would have rather seen a Falstead, but adjusting, please, let's get your thoughts while we have you, and we're loading into map number 3.
Yeah, this appears to be the first game that 30k, in my opinion, has a draft that is actually winning. The last 2 games, Chili Mountain had a very favored and a slightly favored draft, but 30k managed to win the last game even with a slightly worse draft. This game, it looks like their draft is just a lot better. You have solo Uther into Lunara, so you had good heads up picking the Lunara here for 30k, but also pairing that with the Maiev. It's a melee hero that's comfortable for Cure, where it gives him engage and also allows him to play a melee that he's comfortable on, and also is just priority in general. 30k's composition looks really, really nuts right now. Chili Mountain's composition has a lot of CC between the Dahaka, Uther, and Muradin, but not a ton of damage. You have Junkrat Tracer, which is a pretty good combo of ranged if you're playing like a more sustainy composition and you have something like a Malfurion to pair with it, but with an Uther, it's very difficult to sustain them in the long term. They're not really going to be playing for poke when you're into things like Lunara. 30k's composition just looks a lot better to me, and I'm expecting 30k to be able to take the draft, take this game quite easy. I think they're angry and they have the momentum.
Alrighty, well, let's see if that angry momentum will carry the members of 30k through Towers of Doom, because over on the left-hand side, backed by the Raven Lord, we have got Chili Mountain, Make on the Tracer, Masquerade on the Muradin, Banana on the Uther, Skoog on the Dahaka, and Ultralisk to play the Junkrat. 30k over on the side of the Gravekeeper, excuse me, is going to be Liam on the Blaze, Legacy on the Brightwing, Cattle on the Joanna, Kier on the Maiev, and Madara on the Lucio, or on the, on the Lunara. Different L hero. I'm really, really torn here, Grubby. I really am. Like, I think Chili Mountain's got some cool tech. They've got some really great heroes with abilities and scaling, but it's also, I mean, this Lunara is huge, and then Cure on the Maiev. I feel like, you know, I haven't done it yet this season. I'm going to go ahead and scribble out Chili Mountain. I'm going to call a 30k win because I do think that they will come out on top as this game does progress. Big Soothing Mist from Legacy, who, just really quickly, just to note, is 5-1 on the Brightwing.
Okay, pretty good. We have Uther coming in against the splash damage from Maiev Lunara. That's always interesting. Banana Age and Weary Day, some of the few that do play Uther as a solo healer. I'm always partial to it. I think it's strong. Banana Age is also going with the Q talent that's really easy to stack into Lunara. You're going to get it quite early. It helps him to get Qs from really far away on Tracer. It's not quite a White Mane or a Malf whose heal follows you around, but it is going to be able to catch up quite far away and do a little bit of poke or finishing power sometimes against others. I think the big story here will be how Cure performs. Maiev turns out to be a strong pick over and over. Gets the kill set up here, maybe into Ultralisk. There's the 25 armor from Uther. That's a double heal. That's all he's got. He has no more concussive. They saw that he planted the concussive. This is absolutely just a mistake here by Ultralisk. You throw that concussive in a random place, and they know you ain't got no escape.
Concussive mine. It's funny enough, they all still kind of ignore it or avoid it, even though the Junkrat was dead and the Sapper camp is it's just that mental, like it's like you see a flame strike on the ground from Kael'thas, you're like, oh no, I don't want to stand near that, especially late game when you could have the ignite available.
It's different. It's damage.
Yeah.
Maya can't do anything.
Mostly also I avoid the circle from Kael'thas because, you know, there's those horrible, those awful players that stack Convection. Like, what an awful talent.
Yeah, I never do that. I've never done that.
I actually do it for funsies from time to time, I'll be honest.
Yeah, always disappointing, isn't it?
Kinda. It's like, man, is there like some sort of like new resource in the game that like reduces my mana super quick? Doesn't make any sense to me, Grubby. If I take Convection, I'm constantly starved of mana.
Hey, this Junkrat quest build, even though he has a Tracer on the friendly party, we're gonna see that frag launcher damage coming in at level 4. He's got 1 stack already. And Marke also has a different level 1 pick than we usually see. Generally, it's the melee that stacks bomb faster. He's gonna go with Tracer rounds. Basic attacks against heroes reveal a small area around them for 3 seconds. And he gets 10% bonus basic attack range.
Okay, so attack range increased by the Tracer. She'll have an attack range of, I believe, 5.5, if I'm not mistaken, as Banana is going to be zoned away. Masquerade comes in to try and delay things out with a big reverberation from the level 4, Thunderburn, excuse me. And Skoog is still being delayed out by Liam. I like this from the side of 30k. Liam actually could threaten Skoog's... Okay, yeah. Essence is
he
popped.
still had Essence.
Okay. Well, we should see 8 shots into the side of Chili Mountain, or at least that's the expectation. But now that things were delayed out, Cattle, I'm going to get pressured by Make for a second.
Make going in with those Tracer rounds. Liam comes in from the flank. Sapper Camp is being taken by 30k in the meantime.
Uther's done with his level 1 just now. Dahaka on his second stack of the enhanced agility, 7 on the Junkrat. Maev pinned down at level 4 as 0 stacks and no subdue for the Joanna. Looking at other talents as well. We have Junkrat holding his level 7. Trying to figure out what he wants to take over there, it seems.
Oh, interesting. Sticky Wicket without the Chattering Chasing Teeth. It should be noted that Chattering Teeth, as it chases enemy heroes, is partially a downgrade, since your opponent can draw and manipulate where the trap is. At least Sticky Wicket trap without the Chattering is always where you plant it, always where you remember putting it.
Yeah.
Wish our car keys were like that.
Or the TV remote when I step out of the room. I have this horrible habit of
God.
like I'll leave the living room. For some reason I grab the remote with me and I'll walk in the kitchen and grab like a glass of water and I'll put it on the counter and then I'll spend the next 20 minutes being like, where did I put the remote? And yeah.
At least you don't put it like in the utensil drawer, where it's
Yeah,
just like
that's-
completely absent-minded. Then
That's
put it
my
in the
dad.
sock.
He's done that. He was doing dishes once and put the TV remote. Like he just stopped midway through watching TV. He was like, "Oh, it's commercial. I'll go do some dishes." And took the remote and managed to just put that away with the forks and knives. But that is a lot of damage onto Joanna. Pops the Iron Skin, steps into the enemy, trying to get that subdue value, or at least the quest finished out. Double shield glare onto Chili Mountain. Big burst damage from Madara onto the Tracer.
When I was little, I once had a piece of toilet paper that I blew my nose with, and then in my other hand had dirty socks, and I wanted to throw one in the toilet, and I wanted to throw the other in the laundry bin, and I messed up.
I've done that too, yeah. I'm right there with you, Grubby. Sometimes your brain is just like, no. Yeah. I've done that with car keys in a garbage can. I was like, let me throw this can of soda away before I leave. Car keys in the garbage. But single altar.
At least not the garbage disposal in the sink, eh? You got that in your
worse. That would be worse. But single altar, we have Dahaka in top lane, does have Brush Talk if I'm not mistaken, and 10s apiece. Containment Disc onto the Muradin. Recall from Tracer. Make is going to be read by Lunara, and Lunara finds another kill for the side of 30k. Avatar popped by the Muradin. Bless Shield was used by Joanna. A lot of damage onto Brightwing. A trade. Tracer for Brightwing. As the Riptire takes damage, Madara gets bumped by that.
Well, that was an interesting D-Shield. He must have blocked some kind of ability there, allowing Skog to get an uninterrupted ability cast there or whatnot. 1 for 1 is a good job by Chili Mountain because Tracer Make did go in very greedily to get that interrupt. And like you said, yeah, he was red on his recall position. But another 4 shots go to 30k. Very nice for them. 8-point lead.
8-point lead, 28 to 36. We've got 1 to 2 in kills. And as we take stock at the level 10s, for anyone wondering for the Tracer, it is Quantum Spike for the percent base damage.
Okay, that's 6%, right? Give up the 70% slow. Containment Disc missed there, trying to hit the Tracer. Not easy.
Masquerade jumping over the wall. I think he might have been seen right there. I did see a danger ping coming out from somebody. A little bit of a... Alright, Spirit of Vengeance will be just triggered later on, and no engage from that. Meanwhile, in top lane, Dahaka Blaze still doing solo lane duties and soaking, brawling, and everything in between.
Yeah, no one going for that Sapper Camp. Too hot on each other's neck. They are. Sapper Camp gets taken for Chili Mountain. Sure. With a bit of an advanced scout there against Uther. You love to see the Uther level 1 Holy Light talent, Silver Touch, without going Holy Shock. I can't get away from the feeling that Holy Shock is a bit of a weakness. Kind of the same problem with Rhaegar Cleanse, is that you can misclick it on an opponent when you're looking to heal or cleanse an ally.
Sappers get fed in through bottom. Now we wait for the next objective phase. 3 Sappers, I believe, do go in through top lane. 1, 2, 3. And Liam tries to take down this fort. Though he might do the interesting thing where delays till the next objective phase, takes it a little bit later, and leaves it on this like 10% for a little bit for an easy, quick capture.
Yeah, that used to be the first idea we had about towers. What if you do this? Wouldn't it be cool? And it doesn't usually get done. In fact, Skog may choose to let his fort die here in order to expedite the take back. This is exactly not when you would want to do that because of the double altar channel. It's 4 versus 4. If he could let fort die now, I would actually think that he would do that.
Blaze, actually, Liam's going straight for it. As I look at the minimap, he'll get it without taking much, if any, damage. There it is.
But why though? Yeah, Porqué? Why though? Why now? He should leave that until later.
I think my only thought could be is like maybe Liam wanted to come in case they were the side of 30k was gonna try and go for the double altar and they wanted the offset fight or something potentially. That's my best guesstimation.
Oh, nice dodge on the containment disc.
Man of Knives doesn't connect, yeah. But since Brightwing phase shifts to top lane, that's 4v2 in bottom. Chili Mountain wants to start putting pressure on this fort, but they don't have the wave up to tank the damage. And with this taking a little too long to force up the wave, Chili Mountain respects, backs away, grabs the camp.
Blaze jealously defending top fort that he has newly claimed, not looking to give it away for free all too quickly. Cure goes in, still has his ghost back. He's not going to go for an umbral. Oh, nice concussive. Pops away Johanna. Feels like Johanna wanted to actually press Iron Skin to not get popped, but it was just an instance too late.
Double Sappers cleared. One more in the bottom will be, cleared before the trigger. We have a single altar. Do you want to get in? Oh, wait, hold on. This might be a little late to get into some comms. As we do have already the fight breaking out. There's a cleanse. All right. A single altar. Do you want to get in comms? Actually, we got a low here.
Yep, let's go Chili Mountain.
In we go.
Yeah.
I don't have cleanse.
Can we, when they have dig, we might have to give this and try and get to... Ah, it's still a camper. They're not moving up mid. Can we move up behind them? Let Junkrat do this. Look at Blaze, they're getting kind of lower.
I mean,
They got mid. Oh, look here.
stun.
They missed everything.
Coming.
Look at...
Yok.
After... Can we get the cap here? I'm still in... I have bomb again.
Do you have clan?
Look, cattle.
No.
Madara is 1 HP.
Okay.
We're kind of winning the poke.
Not really.
I can back and dig. I can back and dig.
I need help.
In 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Help Uli, help
I'm gonna
Uli.
dig in 3.
Oh, maybe this guy? No. They're gonna have 16, but bodies are pushing in. We have dig as well. They're kinda low, and no cooldowns. They have no cooldowns. Maybe this again though.
Get a bit top.
Try and zone them in. Punish them if they wanna walk in. Blaze from top side.
I'm digging now,
Yeah.
Okay, stun.
I got Brighting. I got Brighting.
We can't do anything.
Leaving the comms of Chili Mountain.
Yeah, let's get out of there.
They had some moments that looked okay, and then it all fell apart with a Tracer a little too deep into the back line.
Did they say we're winning the poke?
I feel like I heard that. I feel like I did hear that.
And then someone disagreed. It's like, no, we're not. And yeah. And then they have nothing. They have no cooldowns.
Oh,
but they
Barrage.
were against 15.9. Is this gonna be Barrage?
I mean, I don't think Junkrat gets top back quick enough.
Nor
Right wing is
Murden
defending
mid.
Yeah, he doesn't have the. I think maybe. Oh no, Masquerade does. Okay, so they are able to clear out mid lane. So no barrage. Close because bottom lane just now got converted.
But the siege damage differential is huge here. We see more sappers going to Chili Mountain over the course of the game. The top fort and the bottom fort is has been converted. 30k's got a lot of map control here. Oh, something mid. They're going for Janna. Oh, lol.
18 to 32 in core HP. The Junkrat is looking to just push back top to Haka in the bottom lane. So Cure gonna drop the containment disc onto Muradin in mid lane. We do have the Umbral Bind expiring. Silence is there. Polymorph to come through. Skoog going for the drag. Won't connect. We have a stun from Uther onto Liam, who follows the stun with a stun of his own. Self-divine shield from the Uther to save, as that is Masquerade in the backline. He pops the Avatar. Does he have a way to get out of this? Leaping strikes from Lunara. Chunk in. There's a jet propulsion from Blaze eaten by the drag of Dahaka. This is looking kind of okay for Chili Mountain. I actually say that, and I take real stock of the health bars, and it is 30k who are a lot healthier than the poke value coming out from 30k. Another attempt onto the Dahaka, but a cleanse will mitigate that. Jump in, Stormbolt, Madara threatened, not actually going to go down. Triple altar phase, 6 shots apiece. If all 3 go to the side of 30k, GG, map 3 to 30k.
Oh my god, that would be insane in under 15 minutes. Meantime, they're actually looking at maybe taking Sapercamp, is 30k, and they're looking to delay top right, take bot, and then already Cure is starting the Sapercamp. This is all while still having 5 bell towers. There's a real wave clear map control issue for Chili Mountain in this game.
I absolutely agree with you. Blaze on the top lane is looking for just the delay over the far side of the wall, but there's the jet propulsion. It does not connect. There's the benediction from the Uthers. You see that rewind, but the leaping strikes come in. No divine shield for the next 18 seconds. Pulse bomb onto the Lunar, who's able to back away. Banana so very low, and Dahaka does go down. Riptide from the Junkrat will be coming through, looking for that Lunara. Does zone out a little bit away from the Uther, but he still falls. Make is going to get hit with the Fan of Knives. A shield glare from the Joanna would be enough, but they want to make sure that shielding does expire. Good call from Cattle to read that perfectly, and we do have Junkrat purposefully dying on the bottom, or in the mid lane actually. He ran into the death zone, and here, Cattle will get the channel. Here in mid, we also do have the mid lane to be converted. This is the barrage beginning. A lone Masquerade for the next 17 seconds minimum can't do a single thing.
That's it, 30k with the victory. Madara farming some damage taken stat. Oh, really straddling the line there. I think he could go in for 3 seconds more. That's 1, 2. Okay, very nice, very delicate. There we go. Really straddling the line. Perfect mastery of the maximum tower damage as Skok is tonguing Masquerade. And that's going to be it. 30 points to 0. 15 minutes and 16 seconds. GG. 2-1 lead to 30k here. And really felt like Chili Mountain didn't really have a chance to get any pickoffs at all. It was the classical, we have no damage. Justin, what do you think?
They did have no damage, we saw that. Also, they had no healing in the solo heal Uther, not quite enough to keep up. Look at the healing difference, 34,000 to 62,000. That's the reason that solo heal Uther is not really picked very much anymore. If you don't have a composition that can really be enabled by it, and you're not into literally no poke at all, it's very difficult to match the more meta healers like Brightwing, almost double the healing from the Brightwing. So the fights are very easy for 30k. All they have to do is have Madara on the Lunara, just poke everybody out, and then once they have been sufficiently poked out and there's no more cooldowns and they're a little bit lower on HP, they all hard engage with their CC. They have the Mayav, Johanna, and Blaze, all with lots of engage in CC, and Chili Mountain just really struggling in that game, in those fights. It was mostly to be expected. It's Lunara just doing what Lunara does into a solo heal Uther. That's one of the most ancient, fabled counters to solo heal Uther that's been around since Lunara was released. It's really just a common thing. We saw Madara kind of flexing on the side of Chili Mountain, just dodging everything in the early game and just kind of dancing around the fights, poking everyone out. A very, very obnoxious Bambi in the backline here. Even going with the leaping strike, not committing completely to the vines for the poke, just because he didn't need it. He was more worried about the CC and lockdown of Chili Mountain, and less worried about being able to do the poke, because he figures if he can stay alive, he can do the poke. He can do enough poke to keep him out, or to keep him down. And Cure also going with the Q build focused Maiev. It's what we've seen mostly from him. Also adds to the poke. It's just a lot of control and a lot of poke for 30k. They just wait until everyone's been poked out. We heard in the comms when we listened to Chili Mountain, I think they said that they are like, we're not really, or like, I think it was that we're not winning the poke. And then it was kind of like laughing, like, well, yeah, of course, we have solo heal Uther, we're not winning the poke. I think that was kind of how that interaction went. And Make getting caught out there, it did feel like the comms were a little bit too dominated by him. He's kind of known to be really dominant in the comms as a shot caller, but when you're playing something like Tracer, it's really difficult to be able to balance controlling the team fight and calling kind of the whole concept of how to win the game and play the fights, while also playing a extremely micro-intensive mechanical hero like Tracer. That's a difficult thing to do. I think it might have been a little bit too difficult, especially with the draft difference. There's really no one who Tracer trades up into on the side of 30k. Pretty much every hero can 1v1 the Tracer in a team fight. She doesn't really threaten anyone's health bar on her own, which makes it very difficult to play as the Tracer in this team comp. And yeah, I said it was mostly a difficult uphill battle for Chili Mountain in the draft, and 30k showing that they came to play, got 30-0 in shots, a very, very dominant game by 30k, which was to be expected because they did have a winning draft, and I would say this was their first winning draft of the series. So 30k looking very strong to me in the series.
Really, honestly, like, Legacy's Brightwing is just so absolutely crazy to me. Like, he had so many amazing healing moments and just small plays as well. I don't really know who I would give the MVP to, because Kier did have a lot of really good moments. Mater with some reads and shutdown as well on that Lunar. So overall, 30k playing extremely well in our second best of 5 of the day, the second best of 5 of the weekend, and it could be 30k closing things out on map number 2. We're going to find that out in just a little bit, as the players do need to decide where we want to go or what they want to grab, whether it be first pick or map pick priority. We've already had bans onto Dragonshire and Battlefield. You know where I'd love to see our series go, Grubby? I would love to see Chili Mountain take us to like Garden of Terror or something like that, because it's a map.
Yeah, you waited until they hosted the lobby to say it.
No, I swear. Like, I literally, like, I swear, I was thinking about Garden of Terror. But we do know where we're going to for map number 3 or 4, and actually we can inform you that I have leaked the script by accident. No, I looked at the stats, and like, there's no map record for 30k on Garden of Terror. Chili Mountain's got a 2-1 record, so if maybe they just go choose map, which they did, and that's going to be Garden of Terror. That was just my god tier casting. Totally didn't have the script open whatsoever. But I do want to get your thoughts here, Grubby. Going into Garden of Terror could be the final map in this best of 5.
It very well could be. And while the first 2 games were very competitive, this game was all anything but. It was also the first game that
I would agree.
While Fastad was still available, it wasn't picked. Not saying that they necessarily should have, but
sure. I think they should have.
Yeah,
I really do.
I think you should always pick Fastad. It feels like.
Thank you.
Yeah, Fastad's really strong. It's weird he's not early or prioritized by a lot of the teams right now.
I've been taking him in like all my Storm League games, and like my record has just been skyrocketing up because it's just
you
like,
are him.
I channel it. There's actually a beautiful photo. I'll send it to you, Grubby.
I saw it. You're sitting on Bandit, right?
Yeah. Someone edited Swiftwing's head to be Bandit, and then they customized Falstad to give him some glasses and everything, and it looks beautiful. Shout out to Tuki who did do that. But we are getting ready for this Garden of Terror map. Justin, want to get your thoughts as well for these 2 teams going into Garden.
Before seeing the draft, I think 30k is just looking a little bit stronger overall, because they did win a game where I felt they had a worse draft in game 2 on Infernal Shrines, and they did drag out the first game where I thought they had a nearly unwinnable draft to over 30 minutes, I think, on Altric. So they're not making it easy for Chili Mountain in their losses, and they're making it very easy for themselves in that last game in their win. So I think if 30k is able to get a good draft, they should be able to close out the series here, as they just look very, very dominant in that last game. And it feels like they've kind of converted all the momentum over to their side after winning that Infernal Shrines game, where it felt like maybe Chili Mountain kind of used everything up in the tank there. And when you're winning the whole game and then you just suddenly lose at the end there, it really does something to the team's morale, momentum. It feels like it's sort of your final push, and then you just get brick walled, just run into the unstoppable 30k. It feels like that kind of takes all the wind out of your sails, and it's hard to recover as a team after that.
Do you think, Justin, as well, the target bans onto Masquerade last game, the Tyrael and the Diablo, do you think that actually hindered his playstyle as well? His Murden wasn't bad by any means, but do you think that did affect the draft of Chili Mountain on Towers of Doom?
Yeah, it definitely seems that way. I talked about it before, that his playstyle is very counter-engage focused, that when he had the most success as a tank player, it was playing things like the Mei and the Johanna, and then also the Tyrael. And they're all defensive counter-engage style tanks. They're not these aggressive, look for the aggressive picks. He's not a player who plays the game like Lauber does, where he's just constantly playing for the most aggressive pick oriented things possible, where he's just always in there, where you have to keep track of him because he's maybe getting a little bit too aggressive. He plays a much more laid back, kind of slow, wait for the enemy to make a mistake and then counter engage style. And banning out the Tyrael definitely seems to hinder him quite a bit. And the Diablo kind of, you can also play a similar style where if you aren't the primary focus, being able to wait until the end of the fight to or being able to wait for kind of an overextension to use the W's and the fire breath plays a very similar style. But Diablo's available this time if he wants to take it.
And it's going to be a quick call on to Blaze and Sylvanas. Great heroes for this map, Grubby.
Yeah, Sylvanas was here in priority when the season began, and then it went all the way up here. And it dropped again as people started looking more at bans against Diablo and Tyrael apparently recently, and Sergeant Hammer. But on this map, she is particularly good. Sylvanas looked good for Chili Mountain. I think it was... Sylvanas looked good earlier on in the day on Sky Temple, or I believe Granite Gaming. And she's a really good generalist and can make use of a lead. But she needs a really good second damage dealer. By herself, she's definitely no hyper carry. And while she does have the ability to get percentage damage on Diablo, it's not quick enough to shut him down. You could pair her up with a Malthael to deal with Diablo. There could be a Tychus, there could be a Leoric or so coming out. But she definitely needs more.
So Medivh ban as well. They don't want to deal with Diablo Medivh sort of wombo combo value. We don't have damage set yet for 30k as they're holding that out for the last little bit. And Cure does not want the enemy team to have his Maiev, so that will be the other ban. Justin, we're getting into the last few picks, it looks like. Any thoughts?
Yeah, the Ultralisk is being targeted there with the Maiev ban. It's very good into what 30k has. And you have, I'm expecting to see Banana go with the Monk with the 7s. Also, Tychus is still available. I think the Medivh ban is kind of alluding towards that. It would be difficult for Chili Mountain to win fights right now into what 30k is drafted without going for something like a Mind Control into a 7s. Instead, they're going to go with the Stitches. It feels like Chili Mountain's composition, they feel that they've already almost lost the draft, and they're playing to kind of... You need to play for something very like the Stitches hook or like a potential 7s with the Mind Control. You need to split up 30k because right now having 30k with Brightwing, Diablo, and Hogger, it almost feels like nothing they pick can really lose the draft for them. I think those first 3 picks for 30k are almost unbeatable. So Chili Mountain potentially recognizing that, looking for the potential of just a late game hook, just a random hook through a wall that can kind of give them an extra win condition, because trying to just slam both teams 5v5s, just trying to slam your heads together into Diablo, Hogger, and Brightwing seems nearly impossible for pretty much anything Chili Mountain could pick.
Is this a last pick Junkrat? How has he gone through the entire draft? I'm sorry. I've been sitting here blown away.
I like it.
I think the Junkrat would actually pair extremely well into the Stitches. You hook into the stun, but it looks like Kerrigan will be coming through. That's an Ultralisk special as well. And Grubby, I'll let you think about this a little bit longer because I do want to get Justin's thoughts as we are loading into map number 4.
This looks super good for 30k. The only real serious thing, you have Stitches as kind of the win condition for Chili Mountain, looking for random hooks in the late game, but you don't have great follow-up for that on most heroes on the other side. You have Tracer, who's going to be able to recall out of it. Blaze and Kerrigan stuns could be layered outside of the Gorge from Stitches, but it's not the easiest thing to kind of just save forever. If Blaze and Kerrigan want to play the game, they're not going to have those just available all the time. They're not going to be doing anything without them. And then you have Diablo, who should be pretty much invincible for cattle. You have Brightwing, who's going to be able to help save the Hogger and the Diablo very easily. There's no healing reduction on the side of Chili Mountain. You don't have... I mean, I guess Rhaegar could take it, but...
Yeah.
There's not anything serious. There's no... It feels as though 30k should be pretty invincible into Chili Mountain. If Masquerade is able to hit some crazy hooks, that will be great. Or if Ultralisk is able to just completely carry and pop off, but... It looks very difficult into the very tanky and difficult to lock down members of 30k. I think 30k is going to take this. It kind of feels like desperation with the Kerrigan last pick.
Alrighty, well, desperation, Kerrigan last pick. We'll see if it works out for the side of Chili Mountain in the blue. Ultralisk on said Kerrigan. Masquerade to play the Stitches. Make on the Sylvanas, Banana on the Rhaegar, and Skoog on the Blaze. For the side of 30k, looking for a 3-1 victory through Garden of Terror, we've got Liam on the Hogger, Cure on the Tracer, Madara to play the Chromie, Cattle on Diablo, and Legacy to play the Brightwing. Of course, Grubby, I have let you sit there and think about this for a little bit here. I want to get your thoughts immediately. I think 30k can take this, but I'm sure you got a lot more in-depth knowledge and thoughts getting into Garden of Terror.
Yeah, I think there was a setup for 30k to go with Thrall instead of Tracer or Chromie. But I think they skipped it because of the threat of Stitches having a more likelihood to actually take down a Thrall with a hook, since it's just shorter range. Tracer's got all those escape mechanics, and Chromie has the range not to get hooked. And with that, it is quite difficult for Masquerade to get a good hook. I do think Stitches fits the defensive type of tank setup that Justin said Masquerade is going to be most expert at. But Kerrigan does feel like a weak link. Into Diablo, Hogger, Brightwing, Chromie, Tracer, it's hard for her maybe to get some kind of big combos that hit relevant targets. Kerrigan is mostly spell damage based. And there's both Brightwing and Diablo Soul Shield to get spell armor. And that's going to make that a little bit tough. Junkrat would have been cool. I liked your suggestion, last pick Junkrat. But the problem being that via Junkrat Savannahs, you wouldn't really have a finisher. It would really all be down to having a Stitches hook into that trap. And after that initial setup, you wouldn't have anything against someone that is running away with a low sliver of health. Kerrigan potentially can follow them with a series of Ravages, maybe with a Bolt of the Storm. But as you must know, it's not easy to play Melee Assassin into a Brightwing with Polymorph, and presumably a Slowing Sands Chromie.
Checking really quickly, I think that was actually our first game where we didn't have Junkrat in the draft.
Really?
I think
like after not being banned, also not being picked.
Exactly. Yeah. Like zero. Not value. What's it called? Involvement in the draft. I have to dig into the stats a little bit further because we're in the middle of a cast, but I'm like 80 to 90% sure this is like the first one, which is kind of crazy to me. But either way, let's go ahead and dive into this because we do have the seed spawning in the bottom right, and it is top lane getting pushed in, but we have the response from Chromie. Stitches just kind of floating around as well. Level 4 apiece for both teams. Hogger grabbing a camp for bottom.
Kerrigan now has this need to stack her Ravage. That means a lot of laning, a lot of double laning. Also offers a big window. Oh, Madara! Time trapped. Heal. He's fine, right?
Oh, no. Oh, wait, hold on. Kerrigan, though. Battle's getting threatened. Gets the Fire Stomp out. Gonna build up a few souls from that, too.
Hook 3-second cooldown. So was unable to catch him. And Adel totally fine. Now we got this cool push with Black Arrow. Ultralisk can try to go fishing from behind the gate. That's a W without an E. Just for siege damage, I guess. Didn't really want to try to get any heroes. He knew that wouldn't work, so... Kerrigan poke! I guess she has poke.
Kerrigan pokes here and there. I'm looking at this first seed still, looking to see if anyone can grab this on the side of 30k. It is favoring their positioning. Masquerade looking for a hook here. Liam going to try and block with his body. The Haunting Wave is short from Make, and that is going to be Cure with the channel first objective to the side of 30k of 3.
I think as important as Stitches' actual hook opportunity usage, there are all these standard moves that Stitches does, move out from the minion wave, then hook. Usually that's where his move ends. But what Masquerade does too is he pretends to go for a hook with the classical Storm League positioning, the telegraphs where he's going to go, but then he doesn't hook. Do enough of those, and you're doing the Boy Cried Wolf enough so that when it really happens, they don't expect it anymore. Just watching his movement tells me that that's how he's thinking about things. There's always an obvious hook moment, psychology level 1, and he's not always taking it. And that's important. You want to be sure you have a real opportunity to get a hook to actually hit. Now, this is a very good position for Chili Mountain. Siege-wise, they're actually doing really nicely. They... Oh, Ultralisk.
Can he get away?
That's really well done! Not only can he get away, but in a 2 versus 3, they get the kill on Tracer. Wow.
Yeah, well, I was actually about to say it at the exact same time because that's a little, that blows me away here as Make and Banana continue to push into the top lane. Black Arrows will expire. The goalie, or the gatekeeper that is Madara on the Chromie, pops that Slowing Sands just to force back the siege. And Banana gets a good chain heal out. More camps to be grabbed from both sides. We have the siege giants on the top left. for the top lane, Hogger in the mid right for the mid lane camp as well. And Cure, respawn, down in the bottom lane, gonna grab some experience. But with the 2 kills to the side of Chili Mountain, they're ahead in this map and experience, closing the gap to 10.
Very nice kills by them. Always a good sign when a Stitches and a Kerrigan comp is doing well early game. And usually, I would say if all things keep up in the same way, that's a great recipe for success and likely win chance of the Stitches Kerrigan team. But Kerrigan also can struggle in the late game. She's the kind of hero that really is better early game, usually, rather than late game. So that leads actually to an interesting gameplay evaluation where even when you are ahead, level-wise and siege-wise and kill-wise and even tributes-wise, like how many objective points you have, it's 1 for 1 right now, even when you're ahead, you may not actually be ahead, if that makes sense. In the sense that you're expected to be ahead. So how much ahead are... Oh no! Cure on his special heroes, Tracer and Zera, is kind of getting owned here.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was about to say the exact same thing. Time stop onto Diablo. Not sure if the lightning breath or the time stop was the stop thing that mitigated the hook, but here comes a polymorph overpower, and Masquerade not able to get away with Liam on that Hogger. 60 seconds on a shockwave as Hogger finds a beautiful bounce back towards his bottom lane fort, but a Seed is here in a neutral sort of position in the bottom lane area.
Kerrigan with the top damage in the game here for Chili Mountain. They've got 3 kills already. Gorge is not available for 40 seconds. Masquerade is getting slowing sanded here. Takes a lot of damage, but, you know, 3 armor from his level 1, so that's greatly mitigated. Legacy going with the channel. Skook wants to go and interrupt. Link heal away. Even as Sylvanas is going full Zagara in the top lane.
And you'd think that 30k would be able to play into this 4v5, but just no. Right. 30k, they want the channel onto this objective. Masquerade might get one more interrupt. Cure trying to body block any sort of damage coming in. Blaze unable to interrupt late. So, Sylvanas, this is the Okay, so 1 Seed to the side of 30k, and an entire fort to the side of Chili Mountain.
Yep.
That's a big W to Chili Mountain.
Yeah. This is typical Storm League Sylvanas. I hope you guys are getting on fine in your 4v5. I'm being an absolute boss right now in this 1 versus 0 in the side lane fort. And it is a high value decision. It's good. Doesn't need a lot of skill, but it is a good decision to make if you think your team can handle it. For Storm League, it's a gamble. For Make, it's trust. Hashtag trust. Hashtag teammates. As his team did just fine, didn't overextend or anything like that. You can do that again, maybe one more time in the bottom fort. But at this point, because they're up against double Night Seeds, it would be a risk. Oh, that's a Gorge. Can everyone get in position to actually blow up the Diablo?
Diablo has a target on Skook to be able to jet repulsion, or to get the shadow charge, but he jet repulsions right into that. Shockwave will be mitigated by the bunker down from Blaze. Perfectly timed, a friendly hook gets Skook out of a precarious situation, and we have a 13 talent tier over to the side of Chili Mountain, and a Seed favoring the position of 30k, who are quarter or so down the 13 talent.
And we see 3 people going bot. They want to try and kill Kerrigan, but Ultralisk, too seasoned of a warrior, goes back behind gate, rejoins his allies on the siege camp. And while level 13 will be reached for 30k, Skook and allies are determined to make a positive macro situation, leading into what could be a very protracted poke battle over this very crucial 4th objective seed. Oh, Make in the bot lane again. He's doing the thing. Maybe they just give up the objective. They don't care. They get a fort.
Oh, that's going to be a nice pickup for the side of Chili Mountain. It's just also mitigating. Oh, no. Now, if this is a staggered... Nice. Very nice from Masquerade and Skook just to mitigate a kill. And still 3-0 in kills. Banana should fall. I don't see a way Rhaegar gets out of that one.
Oh, that's a pity. Because it looked like... That's the first kill, by the way. That's a pity for Banana H. Good pickup. Of course, by 30k. With the siege camps being mid and top, they actually denied a lot of the planned terror value. Mid is being defended in a concentrated manner. Top, regrettably for Chili Mountain, is not being defended at all. That could be a fort. But likewise, bottom is being defended. Cattle is looking to maybe threaten the bottom lane ranged assassin in Sylvanas and the melee assassin in Ultralisk to not do a good defense here. Ultralisk unwilling to jump in at this time, though he does have Chrysalis to dodge a combo.
Time stop onto one. Cattle creating some room with the Shadow Charge, sidesteps the hook, as that will be the top lane fort going down. Now Tracer, Hogger, mid lane, looking to get some... it's mostly just wave clear. I don't think they're looking for much structural value. Liam has a spin. He's going to be able to find a nice bounce into a safe position over by his camps, with the top lane objective ending in about 2 seconds.
One fort going down against the objective because they double-prepped Siege Giant. Defending mid and bot with almost no damage is a very good situation for Chile. They gave up a difficultly positioned seed, take half a level of XP advantage, and now suddenly they're against zero objective points with 1. And that's a very valuable laydown. I like that decision a lot. I think it is qualitative and it gets them into a very fine position. Play for it and lose the fight, then lose the objective, they would have lost 3 forts.
Looking at Tracer and Hogger over in the top lane area, and take stock of what the camp timer is. It's 40 seconds, so I think maybe Tracer and Hogger were looking to say, all right, if anyone tries to come and clear the wave through this is rotation, maybe we can Shockwave, Pulse Bomb, get a single target blow up on something like a Sylvanas, Kerrigan, Rhaegar. But that's not happening. Make takes the safe clear through the keep front gate area. Skoog able to rotate in and help. And looks like we have just wave clear from both sides, 16 apiece. A tense game number 4.
See, unbridled energy damaging a hero with a heroic ability grants spell power. It's ready for the Ultralisk blow-up composition.
Bottom lane cleared out. Yeah, this is a tense. You know, it's tense right now. You want to jump into some team comms?
Yeah, time for 30k again?
Sure, in we go.
Do that Kerrigan flanks?
If they invade, be ready to help, please.
Yeah, I have Z.
I guess we're doing this seed.
I'm objective right now.
Is it a give?
It's playable if the Stitches isn't over the wall. He's not. We could look.
It's a rough spot. Yeah, it's
already there.
Not very good. Yeah, it's fine.
I get top wave.
Next one's
maybe on the clock. Maybe on the clock.
Big clock here, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Rhaegar.
I like it.
I'm not there though, but maybe.
Rhaegar still.
I'm Kill it.
Yeah, we win this.
I'm super low.
Oh, we're gorged.
Man.
I'm taking 4.
Hey, Kerrigan is out. Kerrigan help.
Kerrigan, nice block. No ice block.
Kerrigan.
When I get there, we win. I'm almost there.
The Kerrigan.
Look at my shockwave. Look at my shockwave.
Yeah.
You ready? Right now.
I'm ready. Citrus. Oh, it's huge.
I spin in after. It's huge.
Thank you, Blaze.
Yep,
Nice.
got you, dog.
Go top, and top.
We can. I think we can.
Get a keep at least.
I think you let me tank. I need heals from Legacy. Break this.
I have Z.
Grubby, my friend, you perfectly called those comms. It seemed like it was going to be a moment where it was lackadaisical, but no, they pull the trigger and 30k finds a pentakill. You heard the indecision for a second, like, oh, do we end here? We end here, let's go end. At least they're gonna get this keep. Now, we left the comms, so we don't know if they are gonna end here. The positioning leads me to believe that no, this is gonna be 30k backing away, but dear Lord, was that a beautifully played fight underneath a fort the entire time.
Yeah, great communication. I mean, it was your timing for the comms, and it was 30k's performance, obviously. My team choice. Fantastic play there by 30k. Chromie got hooked. Massive bait, I'm calling it. He called out that he has timeout, so they knew that they could wait long enough for Hogger to come in. And Liam, he pretty much prophesied that. Once they come in, I hit him with the shockwave, it's over. We killed them all. And then I think it was Cure that called ending top, or at least getting keep. Nice, quick decision. Always want to make the decision before doubt sets in and you've delayed too much to get anything like that done. 30k takes a massive advantage. Really, really nice.
Experience advantage as well is swapped over to 30k as they have the level lead almost to 20 now. That's going to be a Blinken from Cure. He wants to try and get as much damage onto Masquerade. Now, can Hogger get away? Phase shift from the Brightwing comes through. Oh my god, Wailing Arrow! A big lightning breath slowing the enemy team! Cure wants to go in, but he respects the enemy team. A hook will connect onto Chromie. That's a big shockwave onto 2. Ancestor Healing goes out. It is going to connect onto Ultras. The bunker's down from the Blaze. Hogger finds a pretty good bounce. They kind of kite back on the side of 30k, taking down the fort. If a couple kills happened, if a couple kills happened there for 30k, they could have rushed top and end. But that hook, I could feel the tension on that one.
Yeah, not sure they even wanted that Chromie hook. It was scary, but they got away with the bunker there.
So now 20s are here, Grubby. Well, how does 30k play this? Chili Mountain, they're going to mostly turtle up. Does 30k go mega aggro?
You want to get a wall. You don't get a keep. You get a wall. You go back. Get the top bruiser.
Unless you just... Oh, okay, I was about to say unless you kill Sylvanas, but she's got Will the Forsaken.
It's a shame for Chili Mountain when they didn't get the kill on Hager there under the fort. Wailing was just too early. It overshot and came out too early and misdetonated.
Wait.
That's a nice engage on Stitches. I think he's dead. No.
Blaze is showing in mid, so they know on the side of 30k this is an advantageous fight for them. They've got the spell armor, they've got the siege giants. Yes, there is the keep that is dealing damage, and yes, that's gonna be Legacy getting chain CC'd, but huge, big ultra. Oh my god, the colossal spin and shockwave from Liam. Once again, Liam just, I'm killing them all, as he sets up the kill for Chromie, a double kill, and 30k. They're the ones to step towards core. Will Skoog and crew be able to stop this core falling? Shielding is already being removed.
The major setup by Kerrigan and Stitches is not here. I don't think they'll be able to do the defense. We have a Wailing Arrow. He's diving deep. He's trying to get Tracer. He uses Will of the Forsaken and Ancestral to get back to the core. But the core has fallen to 40%. He can literally just ignore Chili Mountain right now.
Cattle making room so that Kier can continually just auto. No one is looking at Kier. Everyone is doing a big old team fight. Banana sniped, pentakill, 30k shuts down the series 3-1. Beautiful. Like, honestly, the early game looks so good for Chili Mountain, but seemingly one massive team fight through the mid area, it just spelled all disaster. I mean, Justing, we got to get you back into the mix right now, and you got to break down everything that was Garden of Terror here.
So the beginning, Chili Mountain was looking pretty good. They had the setup with the Sylvanas to split push, and they have the Kerrigan, who was just stopping Cure on the Tracer every time. Twice in a row, Ultralisk got just a turnaround one-shot on Cure Tracer when he's trying to look for the picks. But Chili Mountain had a plan in the early game, but in the 5v5, they just don't stand a chance with their composition. 30k's comp in a 5v5 is just way too strong, and we heard it as soon as we jump into the comms. That was the big turning point that we heard, where Madara is like, we could maybe play off of this clock, and that begins this crazy team fight that is ends up being a 5 versus 4, or a 4 versus 5 that 30k is winning. You can hear Liam in the comms too, being like, "Are you guys sure about this? Like, I'm not there," and they're just like, "Yeah, we're sure. Go for it." And it was a really clean engage. It's cool to see that Madara on Chromie was actually the one who set that fight up with the random time clock that just gets the 2-man, that they're willing to play off of that. And the objectives were traded early for Chili Mountain. You had top fort traded for the bottom seed, and then you had another seed traded for the bottom fort by the Sylvanas just split pushing. The early game, not great for 30k. We saw here, Madara will go down. These were just the good early game rotations by Chili Mountain, using that Rhaegar with the wave clear advantage, and just using the Ultralisk Kerrigan to just kind of out skill in this small fight. This is where he turns around and just bops Cure before he can even get his recall off within that chain CC in the 2v3. At this point, Chili Mountain felt good. They were vibing. They felt really strong about the way they're going to play the map. You had Sylvanas taking top and bot for it. This was the fight. Madara gets the clock. You have a self-ancestral immediately by Banana. And you don't even have Hogger here yet, so I guess it's a 4v4 for now until Sylvanas gets there. You have really low HP bars. Legacy blinked in and almost died, but managed to get away. And 30k willing with their composition to even dive the fort. Look at the HP Madara gets to, where Legacy manages to save him. The Sylvanas comes in with the Wailing Arrow, but that's not nearly as much as what Liam brings with the Shockwave here, and the Staggering Blow, the damage follow-up on himself. You get the 5 for 0. Everyone on the side of 30k willing to juggle their health bars very, very close, and they end up getting a whole keep for that. And then here, pressing their level 20 advantage to the absolute fullest, being willing to dive them again, because their composition, you're against the Stitches composition with the Kerrigan. If the Kerrigan has something like a ETC or a Murden maybe to set up the CC for her, she can do a lot more, but you have an awkward situation where as soon as the hook goes out, that's kind of your engage for the team, and that's 30k's signal to go in. If the hook goes out and it doesn't get anything, 30k willing to even dive forts, willing to dive keeps to get a team fight against a hookless Stitches, because he doesn't really do anything after that. So nice to see 30k take full advantage of that, know how to play against the Stitches, and just really well played by 30k, even winning in the games where it felt like they had losing drafts. Very, very strong. 30k very deserving of that first place.
30K is on the road to a perfect round robin or a group stage for Season 4. They solidify a 6-0 lead, and I believe map score-wise, that is a 18-4 map record. Really good for that team. But let's actually bring Legacy in right now, and we can ask him a few questions about his god-tier Brightwing play. Legacy, how are you feeling, my friend, about that victory?
Feeling pretty good. We made some adjustments throughout the series that I think you can see the last 2 games were a lot cleaner than the first one. They played the fall stat in the global game really well. And really, I think just to this point, we haven't really played against a ton of that in CCL in our matches. So it was something we had to kind of adjust for. But yeah, definitely happy with the win.
You definitely pivoted as a team very, very well moving throughout the series, especially on Inferno Shrines, but I'm not going to hog all the questions here as we do have Justing for a question or two.
So the thing that stands out to me the most is in game 1 you picked the white main. You guys didn't win that game, but I'm really just curious why the white main was picked and what the plan was with it.
So really from our standpoint, like white main, not to reveal too much. Sorry if my mic's cutting out. It sounds like there's like some static in it, but
sounds good to me.
Oh, okay, good. Not to reveal too much, but we have been playing some white main and it's undefeated in scrims, and so it's something that we thought it was a good situation. We thought, with their comp, especially the Falstad expecting the level 20 Gust, really like the white main level 20 as a counter to that. But really, we just lost the early game so hard that Falstad was getting so much value. But yeah, that was kind of our general thought process around it.
Okay, Grubby, any questions for Legacy?
Yeah, Legacy, you guys are playing so well online again and just doing fantastically. You're the undisputed #1 right now in the league with 2 better best of 5 scores than the next best, the team that you just beat. Going into LAN, which is all but guaranteed, is there anything special you're looking forward to? Are you guys doing like a get together to work on, like, let's say the synergy and team spirit before, a couple of days before? Do you have that chance? And also, do any of you have this as your first LAN ever? Would be my question.
I think all of us have been to LAN except for maybe Liam hasn't. So that'll be nice having like some of that experience, less jitters or, unknowns of, what to do, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, we're all really looking forward to it. I know that I'm hoping to get there, a day or at least a day early, maybe a couple days. We haven't really planned anything out since we really wanted to, solidify, make sure we're in before we, jump too far ahead. So, over the next, couple weeks, we'll probably figure out, some of those other plans.
Okay. All right. Grubby, thank you for the question. Legacy, this has been a really, really good series. I think, in my opinion, this has probably been some of the best heroes we've had in Season 4 of CCL between you and Chili Mountain. Really, really good play back and forth. I do want to ask your thoughts. You're going up against Granite Gaming, and map record, or excuse me, season record-wise, they're not the strongest. Are you feeling confident, calm? How do you feel about going into Granite Gaming as your final matchup in the round-robin phase of Season 4?
Feeling pretty confident. I mean, looking at just kind of the standings, I don't think we're, too scared of them, although apparently they're the best team, so maybe we should be. But yeah, I mean, I think for us, pretty sure this win guarantees top 3, so I think we probably won't show anything, too crazy as far as like strats we're hiding, but maybe we'll throw something out there for the fans. Who knows?
Please just Just grab a Cho'Gall for me. That's all I ask. Just one Cho'Gall. That's all I ask for. Not in the ban phase either. But Legacy, thank you.
That was what I tried to do last week. You know, we tried to get
don't you lie to me. Don't you lie to me. You deserve that loss on Tomb. But no, thank you so much for joining us for this interview. Congratulations on your victory up against Chili Mountain. Definitely solidifying top 3. And you're pretty much punched your ticket to the LAN August 5th through 7th at Mall of America in the Wisdom Gaming Studio. Before you skedaddle, go celebrate and scrim up for your final best of 5 next weekend, next Sunday. Any shouts that you'd like to give? The floor is all yours.
Shout out to 30K. It's been fun so far this year. So really happy with all my teammates, the support staff. So thanks to them. Thanks to you guys for putting in the league. Thanks to all the fans for the support. And last shout out is to my dad. Happy Father's Day. Thanks for your support.
Oh, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there tomorrow. But thank you, Legacy, so much for joining us. Congratulations once again. And we'll see you next Sunday up against Granite Gaming.
Thanks.
Alrighty. So with that, we are through our 2 best of 5s of the day. We had some really, really good action that we can recap for all of you a little bit later. We can also take a look at those league standings as well. But before we get into anything that comes to league standings or the next day's schedule, I think everyone is ready for Justing's super amazing, supreme, immortal clip of the day presented by Springy.
Yep, we've got the Springy play of the immortal play of the year, brought by Springy. Let's get to it. We got Towers of Doom, 30k against Chili Mountain. You have almost level 16s for 30k, so you have a desperate Chili Mountain trying to get a fight. 30k is going to be waiting until the moment that they hit level 16. Got stalls over the walls, and now they're 16, so 30k is ready to fight. You have Tracer caught on the right side of the fight, gets deleted, and this is 30k just turning it on as soon as they hit 16. It wasn't that they were kind of afraid of Chili Mountain until then, it's they're waiting exactly for their power point, for their power spike to start the fight. You have a huge engage on the left-hand side by Liam, Madara to follow up. Masquerade will escape, but this 3 for 0 is what just breaks the map apart for 30k. This was the fight that spiraled the end for Chili Mountain, where they end up getting nearly 6 cap. They lose 2 bell towers, and they're just behind for the rest of the game for Chili Mountain. That was the fight that kind of ended the series almost, and took all the momentum out of Chili Mountain, and just showed that 30k is just the better team today.
30k would come out on top of that series, as we just had the interview with Legacy, so really, really good stuff with that one. And a fun day overall. Since we've had 2 best of 5s, Grubby, could you, for everyone at home, break down what the standings look like now? Because we had 2 best of 5s, things have moved around a little bit.
I would love to. 30k is a shoe-in for the LAN finals, as they have their top 3 pretty much guaranteed. Wildheart and Chili Mountain drop to a 4-2 in score, and that puts them dangerously close to Oxygen and Diamond Hands, who are facing each other tomorrow. One of them will be 4-2 as well. Now, the map differential is still decent. Wildheart, because of their loss today, Wildheart, because with their win today, already had a great map score, so they're going to most likely maintain a good map score. Chili Mountain drops in map differential, so I actually think Wildheart has 1 point to maybe 3 point lead over Chili Mountain. Ooh. With that, Oxygen or Diamond Hands, if either of them beats each other tomorrow with a 3-0, they'll still only be on a 5 or a 4 point positive differential, which would still place them under Wildheart at the very least, but could place them over Chili Mountain. So I still think that Wildheart is very likely. Well, they're still playing against Storm. There's, of course, one more match coming in. But I guess the real summary is, between those 4 teams on the 30k, anyone can still make it. That is a guarantee. That is a guarantee. So Wildheart and Chili are very dangerously close to Oxygen and Diamond Hands. And for them, so much possibility yet. As for Simplicity, Granite Gaming and Storm Esports, all of them still have 2 matches left. And this means that they are basically fighting for fewer potential gauntlet matches in the ladder brackets playoff. You can see the schedule upcoming to see what we're going to be having next, as this was our final match for tonight. But tomorrow we will have Diamond Hands versus Oxygen to determine who will take the lead between the two of them. And then Storm Esports and Simplicity. This is especially important for Storm Esports because they're so close with Granite Gaming.
It's going to be a really tense Sunday, June 19th. It's Father's Day, June 19th as well, so just heads up on that one if you haven't got your dad anything yet. Or
Variance
if
Day.
you want to make it a Variance Day. Yeah, oh, that's a good way to put it. I'll have to call my dad and say thank you, Varian, for your legacy that you've put out, and he'll just say, what are you talking about? Anyways, that is going to be the matches on Sunday, June 19th. Diamond Hands versus Oxygen, Storm Esports versus Simplicity. We are going to be seeing some amazing matches tomorrow afternoon or morning, depending on your time zone, because CCL will be starting tomorrow at 11 a.m. PDT, 2 o'clock EDT, and 20 CEST. It's been a really fun day of HeroesCCL, and as always, want to get some takeaways really quickly from both of our friends here. And Grubby, I want to start with you. Any takeaways from the last series or today's games in general?
Yeah, very competitive match between Chili Mountain and 30K. They're very likely going to meet again at LAN, which will be a super fun rematch coming in. Also cool to see secret texts coming out today, both from Granite Gaming as well as from 30K here, with the Asmodan Tyrande on the one hand and the White Mane, which was apparently undefeated in scrims, so said Legacy from 30K. More tricks are in the bag. He said they won't be showing much next week of secrets that are meant to be hidden until LAN. Who can forget the old secrets so many years ago with Murky and Abathur on Cursed Hollow? Who knows what crazy things we'll see at LAN on August 5th to 7th with the CCL Season 4 playoffs. It's getting real exciting. We got 1.5 play days left. One more day tomorrow and the next weekend where we have the final play day. Very exciting stuff.
Legacy's interview, that moment in the Legacy interview, he says we're not going to show much. It reminds me of, I think it was Rich during like a Western Clash or something like that. They had the round robin and they had an interview with him, and someone was like, so we saw a Butcher. You guys have some special tech? And he's like, we haven't played a single thing we've prepped for this entire tournament yet. Like, we haven't shown anything. And that's the kind of feel I get from Legacy. They've got a bag of tricks, and we're excited to see when they dip into that. But of course, Justin, takeaways, thoughts from today's matches, or, well, from the last match we just had.
The main thing I would say is it's bad to peak early, and fortunately for 30K, it doesn't seem like they've really completely peaked yet. It doesn't seem like they're on a downfall anytime soon. It feels like they're just smooth sailing straight up. So good on 30K. They're kind of the undisputed first place team right now. But the second and third place teams, I would say, are still very much in the air. We do have really tight contestation between those second and fourth place teams right now in the standings. And it's going to be a really, really tight race at the end of the season here to get who is actually in the second place, who is in the third place, and who's safe from the gauntlet. And Granite Gaming, I think they are making good strides still as the season progresses. I don't know if it's completely copium, but I think that they do have a pretty good chance as we do get into the gauntlet, because they are taking these crazy risks. They're doing these wild things. And if you kind of just play defensively and you lose the game, you're just losing. But if you play aggressively, you make wild plays, and you lose the game, at least you're winning the knowledge of what you're capable of. So you might not win that series, you might not win that game, but if you're able to learn from that and bring it forward into the end of the season, that's really when it matters, is in the gauntlet. And so it'll be cool to see what the team's priorities are at the end here, between the teams that are desperate for wins to get that top 2, top 3, and the teams that are just fighting for experience so that they can be ready for the gauntlet.
Oh, I think that is a big takeaway. It's what we do with the next 1.5 play days and time off going into the ladder bracket on, I believe, July 9th and 10th. But still, it has been a fantastic day of games. My takeaway, as always, these teams are cowards. No one's playing Cho'Gall, so they could have been winning these maps faster and more effectively, Justin. And I know you agree with me, so we don't need to pressure Grubby too much here on how good Cho'Gall is. But I just want to say thank you, everyone at home, for watching HeroesCCL. Today has been a fantastic day of games. We'll be back tomorrow, Sunday, June 19th, for more best of 5s. We're going to be having those 2 best of 5s starting at 11 a.m. PDT, 2 o'clock EDT, and 20 CEST. From Springy, Logan, Bandit, the Wisdom Gaming family, and the production crew, we thank you so much for watching HeroesCCL, supporting the prize pool, which we did hit 11.5k today, so thank you very much. And we'll be back tomorrow at the time before for more HeroesCCL action. Until then, stay safe. We'll see you in the Nexus. Good night.